And here we go.
5, 4, 3.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect.
We need to build a wall.
Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
No.
Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
Everyone! I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all. The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
To him finally being lionized in the prime, in his prime. Fuck.
Do it!
Shit.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams end. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Luke went from being, oh no. Welcome, Slayer Nation. I have some great news for you today. I hope you're all doing great. Nope, that didn't work. One more.
You have failed me for the last time.
Welcome, Slayer Nation. I hope.
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
That is eating away at what you love in order for it to shine. And one man's vision is... Sometimes you don't have to make things better for them to be great again. You merely have to Okay. Hollywood continues to slow boil the culture and crazy. Well, right now, Spider-Man actor Andrew Garfield has stepped up and he's fighting motherfucker.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And unbearded dwarves, but Prime didn't stop there. They stapled in intersectionality, individuality, biddiga-dig-bee, biddiga-dig-boo.
So it begins.
At my signal, unleash hell.
and gentlemen, George the Giant Slayer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Slayer Nation Live. It's July 6, 2025 in the year of our Lord, and I'm your host, George Molho. And it's a birthday bash. Yep, my birthday. Well, my birthday is actually Tuesday, but we're celebrating it today because this is when we all get together. It's another year around the sun, and that means we're going to light the tripwire for one more. We're going to have fun. Am I a little bit wiser? In some ways, yes, and some ways, no. But I've had a lot of fun. It's been great getting to meet all of you, getting to know you in the different member streams, whether it's in our other shows, whether it's FAFO or Slayer Unchained, and here every Sunday on Slayer Nation Live, especially through the comments and every one of the videos where you've stuck with me. And those people who follow me on X, which, by the way, if you haven't, it doesn't cost you anything. Go follow me on X. You'll get a few more unrated takes, let's just say it. I'm a little bit more free there. But it's good to be here. There's a lot of news. Hollywood, for a couple of hours this weekend, it felt like I was back in like the mid-90s. I was like, dinosaur movie, racing movie, and then there's Disney's Ellie. I'm like, yep, nope, traveled right back in time to 2025. Plus, Elon Musk is starting his new I'm an Egomaniacs political party. And he's getting, of all people, Mark Cuban, who looks like he wants to join him. Plus, we lost a great character actor, also a good lead. That's the original Dr. Doom, Julian McMahon, who was in Nip Tuck and Charm. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Plus, it's the 50-year anniversary of Jaws, and so you can see Jaws movies, Jaws memorabilia everywhere. And there's something we're going to take a look at that's pretty special. So let's just get going. Fuel those flamethrowers, and it's time to roast the stupid and have a little bit of fun. We're just going to bring them out here one by one. We got returning the producer who started it all with me, my good brother from another mother. Mexican Ironman is back.
Reporting to duty, sir, to provide diversity and inclusion statistics for your stream. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. When did the ice let you go?
Let me just say something. The food in the detention center sucks, but the bedding's actually pretty good. So, yeah.
Just don't bend over for the smoke.
Well, what stays in the alligator alley, you know, what happens in alligator alley stays in alligator alley.
But you must have learned. Did you do a lot of zigging and zagging, or did you do a straight line?
No. I needed as much rest as I could get. So, I just took the weekend off. So it was great.
Yeah, we lost somebody else, which now Man of War just reminded me. Michael Madsen also passed away this week. If you don't know Michael Madsen, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, The Getaway, incredible actor, but he lived hard and he got put away wet. But brilliant actor. We also got Andre for Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. How are you doing, Andre?
I'm doing excellent. Greetings and thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. And while it may be a little bit premature still, since this is the occasion, happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. You know who else's birthday it is? But we'll get him out here first. We're going to get DA out here. We got Derek Anderson. How you doing?
It's good.
Always.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. I was a little sad when I saw Julian McMahon die. It's like he just went like that. It's like last year I saw he was okay. Next day, boom, gone. That's fuck cancer. It's a hard one. But
the second Dr. Doom.
Oh, you're talking about the original. Oh, yeah. So I guess he would be the second Dr. Doom.
Yeah, he would be.
But I wonder if he's going to be better than. I know I'm going to probably get shit for it. Better than RDJ.
Probably.
I really liked his Dr. Doom. We're going to be having a few more people joining us here. Now we got my nerdy home, Steph. Hey, how you doing? You're muted. I think you're muted. Yep.
Hi, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. What a way to celebrate. This is a way to start a new year. All right, listen, I like it. It's great. But you know who else's birthday it is? It's somebody else's birthday. If I can find where the hell I put him. There he is. But why is it showing me that? It is Sylvester Stallone's birthday.
Oh,
hey. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I think he turned 76. I think it is 76. I thought this was funny because this is an old throwback when he danced around a little bit with the champ.
Privileged to be here tonight, and I'm going to try my best to. But can't you see I'm working?
I'm the real Apollo Creed. You stole my script. You stole my script.
Don't you feel working?
No, I saw it. I watched the movie. You stole my script. All that was me. I'm the Apollo Creed.
You've been putting me on for
No,
years.
show me what you can really do. Show me what you can really
You know
do.
my real name, don't you?
No, show me.
Kid Salami.
Show me what you can do. No. Come on, show me. Show me.
How do you not love Sly Stallone? I miss stars like that.
Luckily, Sly is still around, kicking ass as the king of Tulsa.
Hell yeah, he is. And someone said he was 79. So he's 79. He doesn't look 79. I mean, he is still going strong. Still going strong. I don't like that. I mean, I just watched F1 for the second time a couple of days ago. And I'm going to say I feel Brad Pitt was like in full movie star mode. Anybody else check it out yet?
I finally watched it. Yeah.
Mike, you checked out F1? Nope. You're having too much fun with ice. Okay. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I just cannot remember the last time, and I've said it the last three streams. Please go check out. Well, you're not please. Go check it out. Have a lot of fun. If not, you're missing out. It's great. And especially now they're looking at doing a crossover for the sequel. It's going to be
With Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Tom Cruise and F1. That is a brilliant idea.
It's such a brilliant idea. I can see him doing that. Like I can see that crossover. That's amazing if they do that. I honestly didn't think that this was going to be. I went to see it because everybody was recommending it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I would appreciate it just because it's just not my thing. Like I didn't go see Ford versus Ferrari. I didn't see what's the other one? There was another one that came out too.
Rush and Drive.
Yeah, I didn't see those because like it just I don't know, so I'm not into it.
Yeah,
but this was such a great movie. It was a compelling story. It was so entertaining, and I didn't get bored at any point throughout watching this movie. I did not get bored. It was such a great story.
It was, you know what I really liked is that the men were men, that they weren't weaklings. Like you got the kind of like the crusty veteran who's giving the manly advice. You had a great romance. There was no wokeness, no beta males, no cucks, good story, formulaic. Just it nailed everything. I was like, this is fun. This is, and then you get Jurassic World rerun. Did anybody see rerun?
I did.
I saw it with the screen unseen, that secret screening that they had for like 2 weeks ago. I say this about all Jurassic World movies. It's literally like a Friday the 13th or Halloween sequel. All right. The better one was done at the very beginning. All right. That's when we had the good Halloween, for instance. And then every single one after that is just a derivative. And so
it's also
Jurassic
like the
World
Transformers
franchise.
no better.
Then. Was that?
So it's also like the Transformers franchise then.
Exactly. Everyone after that is like the return of Michael Myers. You know, it's like they're all the exact same. It's just horror doing its horror thing. It's a slasher film. It's a bunch of deaths. No plot. We don't care about the plot. That's exactly what Jurassic World sequels have all been since or Jurassic Park /World. All of them have been the exact same movie after that. They throw in some characters. They throw in some dinosaurs. They chase each other. They eat. And that's it. Movie over. So yeah, no real value to that unless you like that. Like I like a good old fashioned slasher. Slasher movie. I like those. And so I'll go and check out, if, Halloween has another one, probably won't. But if they ever had another sequel, I'll probably go and check it out because I like Halloween. I like old school slasher horror movies, just like I enjoy dinosaurs eating people. But I would by no means call these good movies. These are, garbage for the most part.
Yeah.
But that's how I say.
But how the hell are they continue to be so successful? I mean, they're not written well anymore. Like I love Jurassic World. I like Jurassic Park, the first one and the second one. Like those were to me fun and good stories, solid stories. These just seem to spin off into
China. China,
They're
they love it.
entertaining.
Well, I
for
have a
other people.
theory.
Yeah.
Kids aren't too discretionary because every single person that I know that has seen it, they went with their kids. And the kids, oh, it's amazing, loved it. Parents were like, yeah, like, you know, the Transformers movie, basically. That was some stupid things. And like, I'm not going to, there was one thing in particular that I'm not going to spoil because I haven't seen it myself, but from what I understood is really, really stupid. Something that the kids did not catch at all. But anyway, the kids loved it because they're not too. You have dinosaurs on screen, and there's some eating people, and there's a cute one, and so yeah, kids were happy.
Kids were
That's a
happy.
secret. But
Well,
let's
that's
see how
good.
this will plays out next weekend.
Okay, what I was surprised is that I checked that F1, which was dominating last week, dropped by 68 to 70% in the box office this weekend. I did not expect that kind of a drop off for it with how popular it is, how good it is.
Good doesn't mean popular.
But it's a phenomenal film.
In
to have
Jurassic Park, with this last one, popular doesn't mean good.
a good point. Good point. But I didn't expect that kind of drop off because that's what 28 years later had, that kind of drop. And I was like, okay, I figured maybe 45%, but not 68.
Or was the drop off international or
I didn't check. I think one was 68% domestic and 72% international. It was ranging between there.
Wow. The only reason I'm surprised by this is because F1 is pretty big all over the world as far as the sport goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought for sure, just based on that, it would probably do better. But at the same time, it's a sports movie. Most sports movies they'll do fine in the first week. After that, it's kind of up in the air. So
I guess so, but it looks what's odd is because I was looking at Stallone's birthday today, right before you came. So hi Dante, how you doing?
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
No problem. And I had completely forgotten that Stallone had done a racing movie.
Yeah, he did his. There's been a few of them actually. There was one with Chris Hemsworth, I think.
Yeah, Rush.
Yeah, Rush. So I mean, there's been a few of these movies already, and maybe, or and this is kind of a crazier thought, is maybe Brad Pitt doesn't have the drawing power he used to have.
I don't know. He was. I said it in the beginning. He was in full movie star mode. I didn't look at him as that. I was like, "There's the draw." I mean, he was just boom. It was.
Oh no, I agree. I think Brad Pitt is still, like Tom Cruise, one of the last remaining movie stars out there, and but this big of a drop off kind of makes me wonder, though.
Yeah, it's a very good point actually, because you have the same thing with Mission Impossible. When you look at the last Mission Impossible movie, it's your dad's and your granddad's franchise at this point, because the majority of viewers were dudes over 35 or even more dudes over 55. But younger audiences of both genders, especially women, did not care because Tom Cruise fans is still a ways to go, but has like the trend of aging out. And I would not be surprised if we look into the details that you'll find something similar with F1 and something similar with Brad Pitt as well. I agree that he's going to have that superstar charisma. But how many people out there still consider him a superstar? Yeah, the same dudes that enjoyed him for the last 20 years, they're going to like him. Women over the age of 45 that had a crush on him back in the day and were really into like this drama between him and the women and stuff like that, they're going to see him still. But women under that age, kids today, do they see Brad Pitt as a star? No,
Yeah,
I don't think that he's going to be...
My thought was with the younger driver, the young black kid, like if they would have got, and he was great, by the way, but if they would have got, like, say, a Timothy Chalamet or somebody to play the younger driver, that kind of counterbalances, because you have Brad Pitt, who's there for the older folks, and then you have this, I don't want to call him a twink, but let's be real, he's not a big.
He's a twink. Come on, Chalamet is a twink.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. But here's the thing: these young girls find twinks hot for some reason.
Chalamet is definitely a twink. I don't understand why they find that.
I don't get it, but they do.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Women love men. Why
I think
that's
a brilliant assessment that Dante brought up. I think the right casting would have completely vectored this movie in another direction, because You got to give young people who aren't normally interested in F1 anyways.
Right.
Americans in general don't give a rat's ass about F1. Sorry, European friends overseas, but
No, you're right. I mean,
but
it's true.
F1 racing in the United States is such, like, it's almost like how many Americans are cycling fans. Like the number of Americans that watch F1 is probably similar to the number of Americans that watch, the Tour de France. Not many.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's crazy.
I think they would still have a hard time capturing that young audience, even if the younger driver was Timothée Chalamet, because like young kids aren't really going to the movies too much unless it's marketed towards them, and it's like they'll wait and see like these specially designed reels on TikToks of like his character being put on there, and that'll be enough for them. They won't have to actually go and see the movie to support Timothée Chalamet. You know what I mean? So I think that they would, even if that character was changed to include someone that they like or someone that they look up to, I don't think that they would go to the movie theater. Some of them would, but not like a huge audience that like Minecraft would have pulled.
Right.
So that's a good point. So who's coming up? Here's a quick question. Who's coming up behind the pits? Who's the next? Don't say Chalamet, like the
I mean,
next
he is. He's one of them.
Why not say him? That's who it is.
I'm talking
Glenn
about
Powell.
men.
Everybody's
I'm
been
talking about
talking
men.
Glenn Powell lately.
Glenn
Okay.
Powell.
Glenn Powell is one to look out for. Yeah, Glenn Powell is a good one. If you're looking for like that masculine energy, Glenn Powell is definitely one. Yeah.
And for the women, besides Sydney Sweeney? Any?
Jen Ortega definitely is in that list for me. Anna
Anna
de
Dom.
Armas, I think, still has appeal. It's weird. She can go either way. Like I don't think she's a great actress, but at the same time, she could probably pull one out if she really needed to.
That's because you like her ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's great to look at, and no, I mean, that's the thing. She's great to look at, and she does have some kind of star appeal.
Right.
But yeah, the actresses, I mean, there are some. I mean, you still have people like what's her name from Furiosa.
You're talking
Anna Taylor-Joy, right? Like you got those actresses. I mean, they're out there.
What about you, Steph? Who do you think is the next the new movie stars in the 20-year-old age bracket, like men and female?
And you're gonna hate it, but Timothée Chalamet, he is a versatile actor, right? He
is a good actor.
Yeah, he is a good actor. Glenn Powell's another one who's really good. Someone mentioned in chat, and I completely forgot about this, was Brendan Sklenar. Sklenar. I can't remember how you say his name. He's another one that's sort of like up and coming. He was signed with, I think it was like WGA Actia Agency, which is a really good one, and he's getting some really nice roles. So I know a lot of girls really like him. He has that nice masculine energy. So he's one to look at. Other than those three, I can't really see anybody else who like really sticks out. As far as women, honestly, like good looking women,
feminine women, like the movie star.
But also
that give off movie star energy.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody.
Dakota Johnson, maybe.
I
mean,
think
she's been
Dakota
around
is a
for a
good actress. She's
while.
not a star.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
I would even say Haley Steinfeld.
You really like Haley. Yeah, okay.
I think she has it, man. I think she's going to surprise people.
I'll be one of them. Let me take a look at the super chats if we have any questions, and then we'll start moving forward. Mexican Ironman sent one for $10. Happy birthday, George. It feels like just yesterday when we did our first daily phone talks about the channel. Yeah, I used to drive him crazy every day. Man, the year's
your birthday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, but today's the birthday bash.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, because that's when
I'm like, why aren't we drinking? Like, what's going on here?
I'm drinking. It's in here. It's in my cup. I've been drinking for an hour already, so I'm starting to get there. Hashtag go fight win. Hell yeah. Bless you, Mike. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, and I know how difficult it is to send that in from the ice facility.
Your Mexican jokes, can I just tell you, are super weak, but I'll give you some good ones.
It's okay. You give me
I'll
some.
give you some good ones to use for next week. Leave Mexican humor to the professionals, sir.
Okay.
I mean, it's like watching you reach for the rim and you need a ladder to dunk, but it's okay.
I'm trying to be kind here because I love you.
Yeah, by telling bad Mexican jokes. Oh God.
Yeah, the bad Mexicans. That's called, trying to be humble, to be respectful.
No, failed. Mission fail. The people want to laugh.
Justin plays guitar. Remember for 9 months. Happy birthday! I'm glad I found your channel. I'm glad you found us. Always good to have great people with us. TGV Monster gifted 1 George the Giant Slayer membership. Thank you, TGV. Please go thank TGV. That's a gentleman. TGV Monster for another $2. Happy birthday. Thank you, good sir. Really appreciate that. We also have Oliver Lavery Farage for £5. Happy birthday, George. Hope you have a great day on Tuesday. Oh, I really appreciate it. I shared it last week. I'm going to share it again at the end of the stream, but if you haven't checked it out, please go to Indiegogo. Check out Oliver's. He did this Star Trek short, which is a proof of concept, and it is beautiful. The cinematography in it, I love the story. It's just, I think it's phenomenal. It moved me in every single way. So go check him out. Thank you, Oliver. And we also got Man of War 665 Neighbor of the Beast for $6.65. Happy birthday. The Fisher Price PXL 2000 Pixel Vision, baby. First camera is going for less than $150 on eBay. Even you couldn't screw up that install. Hey, don't count me out. I'm a fucking mental midget when it comes to technology. But I appreciate it. Good thoughts. I'll be positive. Maybe I won't fuck it up. JPS became a YouTube member. Good to see you. Glad you joined. Can't wait to have you at the member stream. Thank you, JPS. And Axel's Abode for £2. Rebirth is unfocused and another poor imitation. What do y'all think? Good call? That's pretty much it.
I think it's exactly what they know what they're doing at this point. They're making the movie they want to make. They're just making dino schlock to bring people in, and that's it. They're not trying to make high art. All right. This isn't the original Jurassic World where you actually had a story, you actually had some sci-fi, and it was actually interesting, really good characters, Alan Grant, and Ellie Sattler, good characters, Ian Malcolm, good characters, They're just they threw this random family in the movie. Like, why? They threw
they
them
didn't
in
even
there.
need to be in the movie. Yeah.
That didn't need to be there. But
Flushed
let's
out movie would stay the same.
Yeah. But we need like family, dynamics and fear. So let's just throw this family in there. It was terrible. They know what they're doing.
People go, if you're going to see this movie, for dinosaurs eating people, there aren't even a lot of people that die in this movie.
Nope.
Like,
not even.
Practically everybody makes it out, and that's just unheard of. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Practically everybody makes it out unscathed, like literally unscathed. Nothing happens. Scarlett Johansson's character is barely scared of these creatures that can
no stakes. No stakes is what you're saying.
Yeah, none.
Okay.
None.
I mean, you got to have some fodder in there, man. Like you got to have just a bunch of extras that are just there to get eaten.
Did they make?
But
her
you know
look
what?
hot?
You knew exactly who was going to die.
Yes.
Midway through the movie, I was like, that person's dead. That person's dead. And they all died. And this person's probably going to get a near escape, but they're going to live. You saw all of you saw the writing on the wall about like maybe 35 minutes into the movie. You knew everybody.
Nobody of color died, right?
Yeah, no.
One guy did. Dante, one guy did. There was one guy that did.
They got one.
They got one.
Oh,
they got one.
Yeah.
One did.
That's right.
Are you saying it was the token black guy got eaten?
Yes.
Okay, well, at least they gave him one.
George, we got some distinguished people backstage.
All right, we're bringing them on. We got Adam Krigler and
hey,
how you doing, Ron Coleman? How you doing, gentlemen? Great.
Happy birthday, George. Happy birthday, George.
Thank you, my friends.
Hey,
great.
Crew, how you guys doing?
Doing well. We were just having a little fun talking about Jurassic Park before we moved to something serious in a moment after I get to
Ironheart?
Iron Hole. It's Iron Hole. I don't want to talk. Iron Hole, I actually had an update for because I refused to review the thing. It's just crap. There was an article written about Iron Hole, and it's really what we're going to cover is not the story, but we're going to go through how Hollywood and the media are still trying to project it and who they're trying to blame and what the message is supposed to come across. But let's finish up these super chats. So I think that was it. No, Eternal Glory for $2. Michael B. Jordan is a great action star. He is. I enjoyed him. Sinners, phenomenal. Outstanding. Go check it out. Thank you for that. Aaron Charman, how you doing, Aaron? We had a great conversation last member stream. Happy birthday, George. He's a member 15 months. Thank you, good sir. We have Neo, gifted 1 George the Giant Slayer membership. We have the 1 in the house. Thank you. I appreciate it. Whoever got it, go thank Neo. JPS for $2. Happy birthday, but wait, there's more. Oh, really? More? I always like more. Love surprise. Hey, JPS gifted 5 George the Giant Slayer memberships. I love seeing that. Love surprises. Thank you, JPS. That is too cool. Too cool. I appreciate that. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $2. Happy birthday, George. Keep slaying. I will. Short is already sharp. We're going to keep swinging. So we had this a little bit of fun before we jump into something serious, and then we'll get into Iron Hole. The Twitter sign, which was purchased last year by someone, has finally met its end yesterday. Someone paid 35 grand for it.
Just to blow it up?
Just to blow
No,
it up.
they bought the sign. They bought the sign. 35 grand. Now, before we get into Iron Hole and then Superman, those are going to be the 2 things we're really going to cover. Superman. There's something that happened yesterday. We usually do some of the more serious stuff towards the middle or towards the end of the show, but I wanted to bring this up at the top of the hour. We had a flood here in Texas for everybody living in Texas. And 70 people as of today are dead. Well, I'm just going to show you what happened at the Guadalupe River. It's a time-lapsed video that someone shot. Because there are a lot of people like, well, how could this happen? What the hell is going on? Why was this so crazy? Why weren't people warned? They're blaming Trump. They're blaming this. They're blaming everything except for reality. So, where did you go? There you are. Here it is. And it was a camp called Camp Mystic. Had been flooded. And you have a lot of children who are missing. So I'm going to show you in a moment who they are. But here is the Guadalupe River. Rose 26 feet. Here it is. Here's a time-lapse video, just so you can see how powerful it is and how fast it moved.
That's it was 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes.
Yep.
When it went from you seeing the whole road to that road being gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
5 minutes.
Wild.
Yeah, you see that?
It was so quick.
Yeah. And so people are trying to blame the Texas, trying to blame the governor, trying to blame Trump. And a lot of the alarm systems, the warning systems, the only warning systems, they told people, just certain people didn't take action. They didn't jump on it quick enough. They're like, it's a flood. We're used to floods. It's going to happen. That's not the problem. This is the problem. You have children who are still missing right now. Still missing.
Yeah.
And this, I keep trying to find language I can use on YouTube that...
Dingbat.
No, I have one in particular, but Steph, I have
Can't
great
use
respect.
that word.
I have
Dingbat.
I have a great respect for Steph, and so I refuse to use it here with her. I'm going to play this. So I want you to gird your stomachs. You're going to have to make it iron. You're going to listen to the whole thing, and then we're going to get going.
There's people in it. So many people in it.
Hold on.
I know. Oh, I know. I saw this last night. Oh, yeah.
This is a whites only girls Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all white only conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right. You ain't getting in. You ain't going. Period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported. They shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada, yada, yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better, the parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice to go into East goddamn Texas and to make a all-white enclave, exclusionary just for white people, with all the black people in East Texas, with all the Hispanic people in East Texas. Somehow, some way, you have carved out an all-white, whites-only enclave in East Texas for your white children. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they all get found. But once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living in. They want you to have sympathy for these people. They want you to get out of your bed and to come out of your home and to go find these people and to donate your money to go find these people. Meanwhile, they are deporting your family members.
Okay. This is Sadie Perkins, by the way. She's a complete and abject moron. San Antonio and the surrounding area is not East Texas. Besides, she is a racist piece of shit. She works in Houston. I am making it my mission to go medieval on her ass. I'm going to make as many videos as it takes to get this bitch removed on several boards. Number one, she released multiple tweets. One of them is here because she says it's not about the kids. Let's read it, or you read it. So someone responded to her. Girl, you brought this upon yourself because people are starting to have consequences. Her husband is a white minister, by the way. Children is white, which is kind of odd. Yeah. She goes, girl, you brought this upon yourself. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from the consequences. So Sadie's World, which is her TikTok account, responds, consequences for what? Maybe it was God's will to wash them little. You can read it away. Who says that when you have children missing?
Can I just ask just a factual question here?
Yes. Yes.
Is it, I'm just curious, are the facts that she's reciting about this camp accurate? Are you allowed to have a restricted camp in Texas?
It's not restricted. Yeah.
It's not restricted.
Does it say whites
No.
only? Is it whites only?
It is not
No.
whites only. No, there are
Right.
plenty of
She
girls
made
that
that
have
shit up.
been. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's making it up because on the website, while most of the girls are white, like not all of them pictured are white. There are Hispanic girls that go there. There are black girls that go there.
I was
Just
about
the
to
majority.
say,
She's just completely ignoring that, because people have pointed that out to her, and she's just like, it doesn't matter. They're still white. Like it's still.
But
a
did they,
white
wait,
person,
did they
and it's
check
not.
the token
That's what she said.
minority?
That's
when
what she
when they
said.
signed up, did they check the box that said token minority? Because that might be the case, right? They weren't actually
Right.
the
I mean,
token
I just
Asian,
it's pretty
black.
obvious to me that there's no such camp like that.
Yeah.
Right.
It may very well be. Can I tell you something? In the 1970s, I went to an all-white camp too. Called Camp Hemshech.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone there spoke Yiddish, and strangely enough, no black people applied to attend the camp, but it was an all-white camp. I wish we would have all been actually swept up and, had this kind of attention paid to us. But I mean, seriously.
Well, I hope you deal with the consequences, sir.
But can you imagine? The thing is,
Look
that
at
she
me
goes,
today. Look at me. I remain completely white. In fact, whiter than ever.
I was about to say.
Also,
because
it's all
even
relative to where you live, right? I mean, look, man, when I was younger, I went to camps before, and it was predominantly black just because of the area I was in, right? So if you live in an area where it's predominantly Asian or predominantly white or whatever the case may be, that's what's going to be the majority that's going to be there, right? So, yeah, to me, the skeptic in me says she's engagement farming.
100%.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure she's a real asshole in real life, but part of it, I feel like she's trying to. She's farming. She's trying to get some attention.
Okay, so here is what happened. So people started to share their pictures because again, you have parents who who are crying, who are praying because they're missing the children. Hey, Tom. So they're
Happy
crying.
birthday, George.
Thank you, my good friend. So they're missing their children right there, and some people were started to post on Facebook. Go, hey, let's look at the pictures here. Look at what's going on. Let's actually be honest about this. And so she keeps replying. Okay, play.
To the white commenter who posted this on my page as proof to show that this is actually not an all-white camp, but actually an inclusive, exclusive camp for everyone. This is the reason why I tell my Black son to choose his white friends wisely, because whether you're present for it or whether you know it or not, they will use you as the Black friend reason to excuse their racism. You will.
So
be
you're
the
saying
Black
you're
friend.
making your kid racist?
I was gonna say, so she's teaching,
Right.
racism is taught. Here you go.
And it goes on. It's the same. It's just that what type of human being, right? You have children out there missing. You got the
Is she
Coast
married?
Guard. Yeah,
She
she's
is,
married to a
yes.
white preacher.
Then that motherfucker needs to stamp that shit down and tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, here's
and
her
learn to
husband.
read the goddamn room because there's kids involved.
Yeah.
Period.
This is
And
her
if she
husband.
works with kids,
doesn't-
and if she works
she
with kids, she needs to be fired now.
Yeah, she
that
hasn't
is-
just doubled down.
Agreed.
She's like tripled, quadrupled down because she's been completely defending her stance for a while because she has I went to her TikTok. She has multiple TikToks. I mean, like
Oh, but just
multiple
look at
TikToks
Reverend
defending what she's
Colin.
saying.
Yeah, that's her
Is
husband.
Reverend Colin her husband?
Yes.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
he doesn't look at all like I'd expect him to. Much.
Yeah, her husband, he's a priest of the Universalist Utopian Unitarian something.
Oh, fuck, something.
It's one of those.
That sounds like a
Unitarian-
cult.
Yeah, it does. It's and
I have some things to say, but I'm not going to.
I'll
Gonna-
say it for you. You
Friend.
look like a beta ass bitch.
Yeah, I was thinking it. Probably
You can
worse.
say it.
I watched the Mel Krigler show to know where he was going.
Mikey's not wrong. Usually, when there's something like that going on, there's some bait ass bitch behind him going, oh, do
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want, honey.
Absolutely, 100%.
Go ahead and put our
what's her
family in
name again?
danger. My kids don't care.
There's a
What's her name
phrase
again?
for this type of woman, and it's woke in the streets, colonized in the sheets. So
Ooh,
that's
Wow.
basically what she is.
Yep.
I like that.
Are we
Wait,
sure
what's
he's
the
the father of
wait,
their
what?
kids?
I forgot.
Wait, what was that? Woke in the who and the what?
Woke in the streets, colonized in the sheets.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Woke in the sheets, colonized in the streets.
What was
Yeah,
her,
but
what was
on
her
that
name?
note,
This
are
is
we?
cheating.
Hold on, verbal. What?
What was her name again?
Oh, Sadie Perkins.
Okay.
Sadie
Yeah.
Perkins.
Are we sure that the kids are this white pastor?
Kids?
Or
Good question.
his kids? Yeah,
She might have been colonized by somebody else. I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
since we're talking about like beta ass bitches and stuff, like, do we know for sure that it's his kids, or did he come along later?
he definitely looks like he gets pegged. So with his collar, he doesn't feel real. It's just that she keeps going and she keeps coming across. You said it, Steph. She keeps coming out, and it gets worse and worse. And you have parents who are like, "Can you take a moment and just like wait till the children are found?" You had one girl in one of the photos who was found yesterday hanging on a tree by Coast Guard. You know, she's
You know
like,
how you can
literally-
tell. You know how you can tell who the real racists are when race becomes the center point of every fucking thing in the world to them. Like, why are you even concerned about race when we got missing children? All right, I could give a shit what race they are. I don't care what race they are. Find them. Hopefully, there as many of them can be found alive as possible.
Right?
But like when you
Absolutely.
have people dead or dying, and you're concerned, the first thing out of your fucking mouth is race.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit. You're an absolute piece of shit. And you deserve all of the negativity that this chick got. She got it coming, man. This
Absolutely.
is some bullshit. This
Absolutely.
is some straight bullshit.
100%. And you know who said it best? After DA, because he put it so perfectly. We're going to wrap it up here. One man has said this repeatedly throughout his life. 1 minute, going to play it. Not even. You're going to hear him put it perfectly.
Black History Month you find ridiculous. Why? You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, come on.
Tell me. Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
All right. I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
That's it. I think he said it years ago perfectly.
Yep.
Anyway, I just had to get that out of my system because of the fact that it's personal. I live in Texas, and when you see something like that happen to kids, your first thought is children, people. You don't. I've never in my life sat there and thought, I'm like, this is Joe, this is Johnny, this is Jane. What color, what religion? I don't give a shit. It's a child. It's life. Preserve it.
You know, not that I want to jump into this next topic that we're going to jump into, but it's funny because as we're talking about this, I'm thinking about this is exactly what Ironheart was about, right? It's like these people think they're the good person. They think they're the good side. They're really not. They're the worst of the worst. I look, man, I've seen a lot of crazy shit on X and social media. I have seen racist tweets all over the place, and let's not pretend that there's just not. All right, there's a ton of racist shit. But here's the thing: when it comes to like a disaster or a tragedy, I rarely. Now it does happen, but rarely do I hear conservatives like cheer on kids dying.
No,
right? Like I don't know. I rarely have seen that. But when it comes to like Democrats, they don't give a shit because they don't give a shit about children. And I think we forget that. They don't.
Yeah.
For them, an abortion is like getting a nail appointment for them.
Oh,
it's
you
like
had
getting
that.
your nails done.
They get more
don't give a
angry
shit
at
about babies
something.
or kids at all.
Yeah, they get more angry at something bad being done to pets than they do about children. Because to them, pets have replaced children for them. You know, children are disposable, but pets are now their new child.
And the fact that Dante brought that up is kind of like a perfect segue into what I was going to discuss. What we're going to talk about real quick, there was an article written about Marvel's Ironheart, and one of the reasons why they're pushing it and the backlash, and then they're explaining it. They have five topics they bring up. We'll read them real quick. Okay, so number one, why everybody's talking about Ironheart, even the haters. Ironheart premiered its first 3 episodes on Disney. Blah, 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 blah. This series is sparking critical conversation across Black communities and hater communities.
Is it now?
Yes, it goes.
No, it's not. No, I'm gonna tell you right now. No, it's not. Black folks aren't talking about this show.
Are you serious?
That
I thought you have a secret group where everybody's like, "Did you hear about Ironheart? Let me just tell you." No. So they go, we've compiled 5 nuanced reasons to seriously consider tuning in based on Black viewers, especially Black women, are saying online. Number 5, the early backlash reveals its cultural stakes. Even before many had, let me blow this up a little bigger for everybody. Even before many had watched it, Ironheart was hit with coordinated review bombing on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. It started around 32% audience score, blah, 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 blah. Critics saying racism and revulsion at a Black woman leading the MCU. Yet fans have rallied. Rotten Tomatoes user score recovered to about 60 to 69%. This push and pull underscores why the show matters to conversations about representation and fandom.
Representation.
Again, the message machine. Then they go Gen Z. Number 4, Gen Z driven energy amid moral complexity. Reviewers note that Ironheart feels tailor-made for younger audiences with its fast-paced Chicago setting and tech meets ethics narrative.
What?
So stupid.
The Guardian describes it as frenetic, aimed at the younger end of the fan spectrum. But some viewers raise concern about repetitive moral messaging and uneven pacing. Guardian even suggests it veers into repetitive moralizing.
Competitive moralizing.
She
makes a deal with the devil.
Kind of moralizing.
No, she does make a deal with the devil.
But again, I remind people, most of these people writing these shows are devil worshippers. For them, it's just another day that ends in Y.
Mike, what do you think about Iron Hole?
I only made it. I only made it through the first 3 episodes.
And thoughts on it?
Dude, it was awful. It was awful. I mean, frankly, I need to retain Ron Coleman because I want to know if I have grounds to sue Disney because a Mexican Ironman Marvel series would have done way better than this crap.
100%.
Follow the exploits of Mexican Ironman as he investigates alligator Alcatraz.
I'd much rather watch that show.
Yeah,
that would be fun. That would be fun. And then it goes into leadership. Oh, number 3, Dominique Thorne's Riri is genuinely relatable.
To who?
She's not.
No, yeah, I can think we can skip that one. Wait. To who? I know it's a good question. Anyone? Bueller?
To who?
Let's find out.
Nobody.
There's a near universal respect for Thorne's portrayal. The rap highlights that Dominique Thorne shines. I think I'm just going to stop there.
Well, I guess given the series and given what they're doing, she probably does shine. Problem is, no one's watching it because it isn't for anyone. Probably it's for black girls in the ghetto who are geniuses and who has to sell their devil or their soul to the devil. I guess that's who it's for. Who's going to relate to it? It certainly wasn't made for me. It's not made for anyone here, I think.
No.
No, I will say to give them credit. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they have that whole narcissistic mentality, especially among the girls, where everything is just completely centered around them. They are the focus of everything. They are the main character of their own story, and all eyes on them. Their main goal is to be a TikTok star or a YouTube star or whatever. They want to be iconic. So I will give this article that. It is pretty much made for Gen Z, and I can see how Gen Z would look at this character and think, oh, hell yeah, girl, get your bag. Like, I can totally see how they would see it that way because they do lack, or not all of them, but a lot of them do lack a good moral compass because they don't think that they are ever wrong, and that's how Ironheart is.
Yeah, but what kind of message are you sending then, Gen Z, that it's okay to be a criminal and cut a deal with the devil?
Yeah, it's pretty much you will do whatever it takes to get what you want.
And that's justified. Is that's what I'm hearing. It's like if you get what you want, you're good.
Make a deal with the devil. It doesn't matter as long as you get what you want, which is a terrible message.
They justify it. A lot of folks are justifying it through, well, she had to because, she went through so much. She had so much going on in her life with her best friend getting shot. That's the reason why that she decided to make the deal with the devil to get her best friend back, and then her father, I think her father or stepfather or whatever, she wanted to be iconic. She got kicked out of MIT, even though she had a full grant and a full ride to go to MIT because she's a crook. She's a liar. All right. She's a thief, she's a cheater. And I guess that's relatable. I don't know. I don't see this as being these are relatable traits that people can rock with. Like everybody all over the world has been saying, why didn't she just, do something else legally to get money? Like, sell something, create something. You're this great inventor. You have this great intelligent mind. Why don't you sell a line of code? Write a line of code, sell that to many, one of the many industries out there and make your money that way, or invent something and sell that and make your money that way. Why do you have to go into a life of crime? But then again, they're leaning into the whole, she's a poor widow black girl and she didn't do nothing wrong. She's just doing what she knows and that kind of bullshit, which I can't stand. All right. They're leaning into the victimhood. They're leaning into the black grief and all the things that went wrong in her life. And so instead of doing that, we're going to paint this picture of, oh, she's completely relatable and everybody loves her and she's a genius. And it's like, she looks like an absolute idiot. When you sit back and think about it, man, it's like you had all of these resources and you squandered all of that for a life of crime and then sold your soul to the devil. It's like, come on, man.
But on top of that, she has no legit reason for even wanting to create an iron suit, right? She didn't want to create an iron suit to help people, to save people, right? Or to help her own hood, right? She did nothing for her own neighborhood, right? The hood. So again, what is her motivation other than, wanting to be iconic, wanting to make money? But when you're the smartest black woman in the world next to Shuri, right? I mean, because
what's
better than one brilliant black woman, right? Two, When you're a brilliant black woman, your only option is to commit crime. And because you're black, that's your shield.
This series is
that's your shield from criticism, from everything. Is, hey, I'm black. We were owed reparations, so you can't.
I'm surprised they didn't throw reparations in there somewhere.
Even when they do try and give her a good reason to create, I think it was in episode 4 when she finally comes clean to her mom. You know, her mom's like, "What is your obsession with this Iron Man suit? Why do you keep doing this?" Even when they try to give her that good, compelling reason, you know, she was just like, "Well, if I have my suit, if anyone comes after," it's still a selfish reason, because she says, "If anybody ever comes after you, then I'd be able to help you. I wasn't able to help Dad and her sister or her best friend. I can't remember her name right now. Natalie. Whatever her name. Natalie. I wasn't able to help them." So even her reasoning, it's not to help other people in her neighborhood never feel the grief that she felt, you know, to protect her neighborhood from feeling that grief. No, it's just to protect herself again from feeling that grief. If something were to happen to her mom, she'd be able to save her, which would save Riri from a world of pain and grief again. So even when they do try to give her that compelling reason as to why does she keep focusing on this Iron Man suit, why does she keep trying to build it, it's still for selfish reasons. It's so she will never again have to deal with the grief and the pain of losing someone in her own life. So the writing is freaking terrible. It's horrible writing.
I love how both of the villains called her out on it, right?
They
both called her out. The
They're
hood
both
said,
correct.
"You are no better than I am. You are a thief," right? And then the
whatever.
cyborg guy were like, "You are a terrible person."
Yeah.
But bottom line,
he
Marvel
goes to
is
jail.
racist.
He goes to jail on her behalf. She literally gets this dude put in jail. Like, golly, like she is literally like, I'm sorry, black women, if you're watching, I don't know how many black women watch George. Riri is almost like the perfect selfish black woman that I've known throughout my entire life. Lying, cheating, getting dudes thrown in jail. That's who Riri Williams is. She's been basically the emblematic black chick that I have known my entire life. It is sad, man. It's like we have not been an aspirational people in a long time, you know, where we're trying to aspire to better. We are still hanging out in the hood, doing hood shit, doing dumb shit, instead of actually saying, yo, let's go back to like the Huxtables. You know, like we used to actually aspire for more than just being hoodlums and criminals. You know, can we go back to that day? And that was in the 80s, y'all. That was in the 80s.
How can you? But how can you, Derek?
Black families, man, it's ridiculous. What's up?
Right, but how can you, Derek, when you have Disney and Marvel want to basically what they're doing, what I see, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, it's like they're the most racist out of any of the Hollywood studios. Like, we want a plantation and we want to keep black people on a planet. That's what I see when I see stories like that.
I have to agree, as a complete outside observer to this. I mean, I think that Ironheart is truly horrible just in your concept. I haven't seen it,
Right.
but from what I've heard is basically just portraying this absolute total narcissist, this utter stereotype of every single negative black woman trait there possibly can be, which you just perfectly laid down, and presenting this as something to aspire to. I mean, what kind, like, okay, fine. We were speaking about who is this series for?
Right.
And if this is something that young black women see as role models, it's unlikely to make the stereotypes go away or get any better now, is it?
No. How are we going to change this, Ron? How are we going to get these studios to change, damn it, besides
so
money back from being these racist?
Let me just, isn't it the case that this stuff has been sitting in the can for a couple of years, actually?
Yes.
3 years. Yeah. 3 years.
I mean, this was a contractual obligation release. I think
they could have paid their way out of it. I submit they should not have released this. This needed to be scrapped. I think the only real reason they released it is because of the Mephisto thing in the end. That probably is something that they need for later.
That's
not for
why
that.
they released it. They released it because they had to. They had no choice. Trust me, they wanted to show this. But Disney did not want the show to come out.
No, it's because it is extremely 2022, and I'm taking now. I mean, I've watched all the reviews.
Right.
Didn't watch it myself, but I mean, frankly, I can't think of a better way to spend 3.5 hours than to watch Little Platoon review one half-hour show.
Oh, you guys have no idea. The things they took out of this show that they cut out. I mean, like we got the polished version of this pile of shit.
What, have you heard something else was in it?
He had filmed,
Mhm.
and this is coming from a source at the MCU. He was
Right.
like, as bad as it was, because they all thought it was bad. As bad as it was 1,000 times worse before the edits.
But George, I mean, your question is still a valid one, because even though it's 2022, and even though Disney, I think, just as you guys are all saying, they didn't really want to release this, but they can't get out of this. They can trim back, but culturally, that company, I think, is going to be almost impossible to reform, as I've said many, many times on other programs. This is not a situation where, like in Jaguar, okay?
Right, the Jaguar, yeah.
Someone comes into top management and absolutely shits the bed. I mean, they destroyed the company. I don't think if they would have taken a survey of people working on the assembly line and, throughout the departments, that anyone was in favor of this. But with Disney, the culture of the company is thoroughly woke. For reasons that I've gone into before, but they recruit a lot of people from the entertainment world. There's a very high percentage of non-binary people. Like a lot of people with agendas flock to Disney. So if it's a Disney question, the answer is, I think that they're going to trim it back. I mean, look, is it our problem? It's their problem.
Right. I think there is something going on in Disney, because you just had, let me just read you the last two headlines. We're not going to discuss them, and then we're going to jump into it's something that Ron touched on. So it says leadership, number 2 is leadership by Black women centered on community, with Chinaka Hodge serving as head writer, executive producer. This is Marvel's first series by, for, and about Black women. It didn't feel like that way for me, but okay. I'm not a Black woman. Her poet sensibility and community focus shape both narrative and tone, embracing vulnerability and creative generosity. Viewers report that this perspective is tangible on screen. Comments? No. STEM representation at its core is number 1. At the heart of Ironheart is a brilliant Black woman in science and engineering, feminine, ambitious, and human. In this time of crumbling world, surviving the dystopian harm of the white tech broligarchy. Never heard of that word.
Broligarchy. Broligarchy. I'm going to use that from now on.
Broligarchy.
Wow.
The white tech broligarchy. This type of representation.
Just say Elon Musk and be done with it.
Yeah, it would be easier. Tech broligarchy, this type of representation is urgently needed. The Christian Science Monitor emphasized how the series connects young people in science, spotlighting a Black girl genius as the hero who signed a deal with the devil. For anyone invested in uplifting Black women in STEM, this narrative is rare and resonant.
You know what's funny
More
though?
women in STEM.
In the show, they for some reason, Riri's mom is friends with witches, right? Witches who trained at the Doctor Strange Academy, right? Honestly, I would rather watch a show about them.
Yeah,
I would rather the show have been about the witches, honestly, than Ironheart.
That's because you liked her
what the
ass.
fuck they're doing.
That's because you liked that woman's ass in the first episode. Hold on. We got somebody else joining us. Matthew Marsden is here. Hey, Matthew.
Hey, everyone. Have
Hey.
you sung happy birthday yet?
No, you're going to have to do that.
No, we have not done that yet.
Who's going to lead it?
All right, here we go. 3, 2,
There's
1.
no way.
Happy
birthday to you.
This is
Happy
sad.
birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday,
dear
George. Happy
birthday to you.
I have no
Thank you,
part of
Matt.
it.
Thank you,
Well,
Matthew.
there goes my 20 bucks,
This is
damn
why
it.
we're YouTubers.
I got one job. I come in and I sing happy birthday. Everybody else does it. Then I lose out.
But just kind of getting back on topic for a minute, I don't think that these kind of articles are helping Disney at all.
No,
right? Like I really don't. Like the more they try to justify this show, the more they try to put it on the audience. This isn't helping Disney's case, man. And I'm telling you right now, going into Fantastic Four, this is the last thing that they needed. Right? They got Superman already
screwed,
pretty much like nipping at their heels as far as this is going to be the movie of the year, right? The movie of the summer, anyway. There is no hype for Fantastic Four right now. There is zero hype. So Ironheart leading into that, they're killing themselves, man. Like, and they don't even realize it.
I think it's going to end up being
nothing of quality leading from the MCU all year.
No,
right? We already had Captain America: Brave New World. That
Thunder
bomb.
Hugs.
We had Daredevil, in my opinion. Yeah, really. Yeah, honestly, only Lilo and Stitch.
What has done well?
Lilo.
That's
it, right?
But like I was saying, you got Daredevil, underwhelmed a lot of people. In my opinion, it's just an outright failure, but it underwhelmed people. Then you move on to Thunderbolts, box office bomb, and now you're coming into Ironheart, which is an absolute disaster. So now you're going to try to build Fantastic Four off of this. Everybody's checking out of the MCU. They're saying the MCU isn't worth it. It's not worth my time. It's just not what it was. And I think a lot of normies and a lot of regular fans are just like, I'm done with this shit. There's no
more
reason
Pedro Pascal talks, the less people want to see the Fantastic Four.
I know. You know what's horrible? I've been going week by week, and everybody knows in the chat, week by week. And I'm like, this week there's not going to be any Pedro Pascal news. Last week I thought it was true. Then Tom burst my bubble. He's like, actually there is. Today, as I was prepping the show, I'm like, there's not going to be any Pedro Pee Peds news. Because that's his name, Matthew. I don't know. Did you read that Vanity Fair article about Pedro Pascal and how
I just listen. I mean, I know there's a lot of Pedro fatigue. I just think he's a distinctly average actor, to be honest. I
agree. Thank you. You and I are on the same page. A lot of people.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, well, we know why, right? We know because he's pushing the agenda, but
he likes to glow stick a lot.
Yeah, look, I'm all for the actors that are really, really great, that get work over and over and over again, but I don't understand him at all. And unfortunately, he's not even good looking. He's not a good looking guy. I don't think he's charismatic. I thought he was terrible in Gladiator 2.
Oh, 100%. And you see how so I thought today was going to be the day, like a birthday gift from the universe. No Pedro news.
You can't have nice things, George.
I did, because the Vanity Fair article where I was going with this is he shared some of his nicknames. And he's like, family friends have called me from Pedro to Pedro to Pee to Peds to Peds. And I'm like, what a great name, Peds. So Peds today announced that he is now the leading candidate. I announced last week that at D23 in 2026, from a source that I'd spoken to, and from Dis Insider, which is a Disney Insider magazine, which have gotten about 4 or 5 things right in the last 2 years. They said 2026 D23, they're going to announce the reboot of Indiana Jones. And now they're saying fans' number one choice is Pee for Indy's new reboot.
I hope
Are you kidding?
busy. I hope they do. I want
to kill it.
Yeah.
Well, they already killed it. So what's the difference?
No, but they should have recast this years ago. I've said this before. Look, I get it. Everybody loves Harrison Ford, but Indiana Jones could have been our James Bond, and they fucked it up. But you realize by now we could have had like 2 or 3 other Indiana Jones, and we could have these conversations. Well, which one is your favorite Indiana Jones? Right? Like right now, it should be Chris Pratt. Right? Like that's who it should be. Right. Like let's be honest.
I know, but do you really want Pee Peds as Indy?
Fuck no, that's my point. We should be on our 3rd one by now. Like,
they should have recast him back in the 90s. Like,
we should have had a bunch more movies. Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, why wouldn't they go with a younger actor?
Glenn Powell,
right?
Glenn Powell would be perfect.
Glenn Powell would be a great one.
Glenn Powell would be a good one too. Yeah. There's a bunch of different ones. I mean,
isn't he 50? Why would they start over? Why would they start over with him at 50 years old? That's stupid.
Because they're trying to sell him as a face. If you looked at that Vanity Fair and then the Variety article, they're saying that they're pushing Fantastic and Foreskins. They're like, he is the new face of modern masculinity. That's what
You
they're
say
pushing.
fantastic.
Fuck he is, man.
Yeah, I can't stand
Well,
to
no,
call
it
Marvel's
makes sense
names
when you
anymore.
consider how much they've been trying to rub and scrub masculinity out of society. You know,
Yeah.
they've been trying to scrub masculinity out, toxic masculinity, which is, in my opinion, just regular masculinity. They've been trying to, there's been a war on that. So Pedro represents the kind of masculinity that they want. You know, basically a bitch. You know,
He
you
is
take
a
all the masculinity out of a man, and you got Pedro Pascal. That's basically what it is.
Suffers from anxiety, needs the hug of a woman in order to get over, his anxiety.
It's so creepy too.
Which
when he
I
does
don't
it.
buy that he has anxiety. I'm sorry, but did
No.
you not see him like up on that stage dancing, licking the glow stick? Really?
Yeah, he had no
That's a person
anxiety.
who suffers from anxiety. In
And
front of
it's
people.
so creepy when he does it. Like when he's just touching these actresses, I'm like, and you could tell like Sarah Paulson was uncomfortable because she's not bi.
yeah.
She is a straight lesbian from the island of Lesbos, right? She
She's,
has not touched a dick, right?
Yeah.
So for him to touch her like that, even I felt uncomfortable. I was like, dude, she does not like this.
It's almost as if, like, to me, it comes across as him thinking I can get away with this type of behavior because I'm Hollywood's it boy right now, or it man right now, right? I am the face of Hollywood. I'm getting all of these
No,
roles.
I just think he's straight
I can
up
get
gay.
away with whatever the
One
hell I
second.
want to get away with, and I'm just going to act however I want to act.
One
look at
second.
it.
And
We
they
got
can't
one-
say anything about it
one-
because
one
if they
second.
do, they're going against what Hollywood wants right now, which is me.
1 second, because we have people who need to who are about to leave. Ron, you're leaving.
Yes,
You're
busy
about to
day,
leave.
busy day.
Thank you so much for dropping by. And I
Oh,
think
my
Mexican
pleasure.
Ironman is also leaving. Andre, you're leaving.
Unfortunately, yes. Time zones being what they are.
Happy 87th birthday, George. You look amazing for 87. All that
Thank
just for men stuff you buy and the way you put it on and dye your beard. Good
Thank
job,
you.
George.
I'm glad not to always be the oldest guy in the panel. That's all.
And by the way, Mexican Ironman officially is giving an endorsement to the Matthew Marsden upcoming mega blockbuster film. Matthew, I think should plug it. It's going to be astounding. I hopefully will play Julio, the taco vendor salesman outside Alligator Alcatraz.
Alligator Alcatraz. Yeah,
Oh,
it's coming to a cinema
And
near you.
I'm the lawyer from the ACLU arguing that it's extremely improper.
God bless you, gentlemen.
birthday, we're out.
Thank you.
You know what?
Thank you.
As an exercise, though, I would like, because I'm a screenwriter. I would like to take my shot at making like purposely. I want to make the wokest film ever made. Like I want to just throw it all in one film, right? Just 2 hours and 30 minutes of like the wokest of the woke, and I want to see how well it does in the theater. Just out of curiosity, right? Like if I gave them all the
people
things,
wouldn't
like
be
I
able
just
to
want
tell
to
the
see like
difference.
how it would do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I dreamt about that actually myself before I leave. Like someone, and this is an idea for Mr. Marston. You have like all these parody movies that you have, like Scary Movie and stuff like that. Scary Movie, Epic Movie, woke movie, and make it as woke as humanly possible, and you still wouldn't be able to tell it from Ironheart, because that's like the thing. You can't tell satire from legit wokeness because it belongs in absolute crazy town. With that, I am out. Everyone, thanks for having me.
Thank
it was a
you.
pleasure to see you all, and have a great rest of
Thank
the
you, my
stream.
friend. Oh, awesome. Thank
Well,
you,
I
my
missed the
friend.
Jurassic World talk, but I thought more people would hit on the fact that that's a woke movie because Steph clued us in last night. It's the island of misfit dinosaurs where all the ugly dinosaurs go, where they segregated them. So it's an island of like special dinosaurs.
I didn't know that. She didn't tell us that part, but she told us it wasn't worth it. But
So
here's
the
the
other
thing.
movies had pretty privilege, huh?
Here's
Like
the
pretty
thing.
dinosaurs went to the
Muted. Sorry. Yeah, they're all
to the
they're all
other
mutant
parts.
dinosaurs. They're the ones that
Lovely.
they're the ones that are either too dangerous to be at the theme park, or the ones that are like too horrible to look at. Like they were genetically modified and now they're just eyesores. They look terrible. But they can't euthanize them because millions and millions of dollars were poured into them, so they're kept alive, even though they look creepy. And that's where you get the D-Rex, the creepy.
Got you, Sue. They're modern.
Yeah, I think Epic Mike said it was basically a dinosaur with like Down syndrome or a T-Rex
Yeah, the
with
Down
Down
Oh,
syndrome.
that was the one that the Ricky Bearwick dinosaur everybody's been calling it, and he even said something about it. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to joke about that because even the dinosaurs went woke, I guess.
Unbelievable. Well, just to prove the fact, we played this on Wednesday. Matthew didn't see it. Just to prove the fact that Pepe is not masculine. This short clip will, I think, put a nail in that coffin.
Can I just say one thing? That your nails, they bring out the color in your eyes.
Oh, God, this one.
Said on purpose.
I did that on purpose.
It really works.
He has a fingernail fetish.
Great color.
He's just gay. That's all it is.
They're very nice. Yeah, they're very beautiful. You're welcome. As a fan of your nails, I would like you to show them to me, please. Oh, come on, please. Your nails are awesome. So are yours.
He's so weird, dude.
I mean, the fact
Matthew,
that he's
in
like,
your career,
come on,
have-
I just want to show him her nails. He's like, oh, come on, please.
I know.
Like-
Matthew, in your career, have you ever heard, I mean, of any man who's like, well, I got a thing for nails. I'm not going to play the next 3 minutes. He goes from one woman to another. The role model for men, according to Hollywood.
You know what? I'd like to make another point as well that I don't know if you guys have already mentioned on this, is that it used to be many, many years ago that when you went in for a role, they would ask you if you had any other roles that were coming out that were kind of similar, right? Like in the same universe as. So for example, like, I guess Chris Evans, the first one, right, to go, one of the first ones to go and do like the Fantastic Four and then be recast again in another Marvel movie. That used to be an absolute no-no because, by the way, you had the pick of every actor in Hollywood to go into those roles. Right. And now there's no, oddly enough, there's no diversity in that. Like the fact for me that Robert Downey Jr., why would he go back and play Dr. Doom? You know, that to me is really
$100 million. That's why.
That's actually, yeah. I mean, they just gave him so much money. And it's funny because, you know, people are saying that I actually got into it with somebody today, oddly enough, on social media. So it's my dog. He's like, I don't know what he's doing. He keeps invading when I come in here, and he's
puppy.
Hold on, yeah, I'm making sure he's not chewing on the wires here. Yeah, like people are saying, like, why are these movies so expensive? You can't pay an actor $100 million anymore. Right. I mean, could you ever? I mean, it's insane. But it used to be that you would have these different actors. Cast an unknown for Indiana Jones. Keep your costs down. There are tons of talented people out there. The brand is the most important thing, right? The brand, as you know, Verbal, storyline is important, right? Get the storyline right. Anyone can play Indiana Jones, right?
Right. I agree with you.
Except for Pedro Pascal, who's
except for that
gay.
weirdo.
Yeah, no, I don't think Fantastic
Definitely
Foreskins. I think Fantastic Foreskins is going to bomb.
Well, we have an actor here. Like, what does it mean when an actor says, "Oh, I'll work with him. He's safe"?
I've never heard of that, to be honest.
That's what they all say about Pedro, is he's safe.
It means he's gay.
It means he's gay, usually. That's my experience anyway. But
well, yeah.
When an actress says that, over and over,
They're telling you what's up. Well,
I've heard from like a secondhand source, at least, that that's the case. I don't know why he won't just come out of the closet.
Licking the
glow
he wants to lick that stick. He just wants to lick it all day.
Yeah.
But okay, Pedro fatigue aside, I'm trying to look at this from the standpoint of the studio, right? If I've been losing money consistently for like the past 5 years, and I'm trying to bank on a star, right? Okay, fine. You gave Pedro his shot with Fantastic Four. You cast him as the Mandalorian, which did okay for the first like season or two, maybe two. He's not proven. He's not a proven asset yet, right? And if this movie bombs, are they still going to cast him as Indiana Jones?
Right.
I'm wondering if this movie bombs, are they going to course correct again with Marvel when it comes to trying to do something with Doomsday or Secret Wars? Because now you got supposedly this is your lead character going forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Doom is your villain, so Reed Richards would be your, I guess, I would assume, be your lead. Who else? If this bombs, that means that nobody's buying Pedro Pascal any longer. And so now what do you do when it comes to Doomsday? What do you do when it comes to Secret Wars? Do they have enough time to course correct, or they just got to play this thing out the way it is and then reboot? Because for me right now, I'm thinking this is we're about to find out what's going to happen with these next two Avengers movies right now.
You forgot it's not about the actors. The heroes are the stars. They don't care.
But
Yeah,
do you buy? But if they're not buying him as Reed Richards, then how can this guy go up against Dr. Doom?
Yeah, but what about?
And maybe I'm just looking at it too much in the
Well,
comic
we're
book
at the
sense,
end of
but-
this run of comic book movie cycle anyway.
I think
It's
Superman.
dying.
So
Yeah,
they're
I
just
think Superman is about to prove whether it's going to survive. or
Well-
not. But they also got the girl, the actress whose name I never can remember and don't care to, the one from Last of Us. That rumor's going around that they're looking at her for a Marvel character, and I'm like, you know what?
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey.
You know what this is?
They
Do you know
say
what
that
this all
about
is,
everybody, though.
Do you know what this all is? I'll tell you guys something that happened to me. I won't say the agent I was with at the time, but it was one of the biggest agents still there in Hollywood. And I wanted an actor for a movie. I got a script that Ken Nolan, who wrote Black Hawk Down, had written for me. It's a fantastic script. And I had this one actor in mind, and he hadn't had a hit in a long time, right? He was, I don't want to say it was, but he was rumored, to come up to be a big thing, and he wasn't being a big thing, but I knew he was a really good actor, and I wanted him for this role. And I said to we shared an agent, right? So shorthand, right? You call your agent, you go get the script to him, it's just pass it on. And I said, I want this guy for this role. It's a Ken Nolan movie. And he goes, oh, no. He only works with the top 5 directors in Hollywood, right? And I said, I can't say the movie, so she'll know who it is. So I can't say what it is. But I went, well, what about blah, blah, blah? And the agent went, well, that was because of the director. And I went, the Oscar-winning director, it was his fault, right? And I literally had this conversation, and he went, yeah. And I went, well, what about this movie? And he went, well, that was because of the actress. And I went, the Oscar-winning actress who just did a giant movie? Like, I literally went through 4 movies that this guy had bombed in, and my own agent, which I was like, fair enough, I hope he's doing as good for me, basically said it was everyone else's fault apart from that particular actor's. And I think what we're seeing is a little bit of that here, right? Because they all go to the same parties. They're all sitting around. They're like, oh, he's amazing. And they will will it into existence. But like you guys said, there comes a point where people are going to go, hang on a minute. This is hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, we can't keep doing this. Because it's also an admission that they were wrong, right, guys? They were wrong about him playing this role.
Well, especially when you're talking about Disney, who for the past 3 years, this has been their problem, right? This isn't a recent problem for Disney. Like, they've been losing money consistently. So our studio head is not looking at this objectively and saying we can't afford this guy in any kind of way. Now, I have heard rumor, and maybe you might know better than I do, but I've heard rumor that another reason Pedro gets cast a lot is because he comes in cheaper than most big names. He doesn't. He will take the pay decrease, I guess. I mean that's rumor. That's what's floating
Maybe
around.
it's because his name is Peds.
But here's the thing. Even if he's cheaper,
he's cheap labor.
Even if he's cheap,
God, I missed that one.
Right.
Cheap labor.
Even if he's cheap labor.
Damn.
Here's the problem with that is, yeah, you may pay this guy a few million less,
Right.
but your movie's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
But they haven't figured that out yet, or they don't want to, or it's just
George,
about pushing the mess.
They have to know how much money they've lost.
They wouldn't have released Iron Hole or Thunder Hugs or Captain Checkbox Echo. Come on. Fantastic. What's coming up? I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then we have this, because I saw F1. Matthew, did you check out F1 yet?
I haven't seen it. My son went to see it, and he said it was absolutely phenomenal. He loved
Phenomenal. I've suggested it every day. Go check it out. But there's this cool interview that Pitt just did, because he was like full movie star mode. And he was talking about his very first film, how he went full method, because he was sharing the story. I just think it's a fun story. Cleanse our palate, and then we'll jump to soups.
I'm gonna, and I just powered down this plate of beans.
Damn it. Here we go.
I'll tell you a story.
Here,
I haven't thought about this for years. One of my first movies, I'm doing this little independent film. We're shooting in this little tiny cafe. It's full of the crew, so there's about 60 people in there. It's hot. You can't breathe. And my character hadn't eaten for days, and he gets his big plate of beans. First plate of beans and bacon. And I was all like, method. You know, I was like, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna, and I just powered down this plate of beans. Take 2, do the same thing. Take 3, I do the same thing. Take 4, I do the same thing. Oh no. Something hit me.
Oh, I know exactly what hit you.
We
all know what hit you.
And there was nothing I could do. I was stuck in this chair, and nature took its course. And then there was nothing. I went, oh, great! I got away with that one. And then suddenly, the entire crew, the most diabolical something descended on the crew in the whole room, and they fleed the cafe. So
fled. It's supposed to be fled, but yeah, okay. That was just funny because we heard the same one. Remember, a few months ago, it was about Will Smith on the set of Men in Black and how Tommy Lee Jones got into the car and he just kept farting. And Jones had to escape the car and he's like, get this guy the fuck away from me. And like they had to clear the set and they said Will Smith had a gas problem, a flatulence problem. Anyway, let's take some super chats and then we'll jump over to soups. Psychotic Mongoose gifted 1 Georgia Giant Slayer membership. Thank you very much, Mongoose. I hope whoever got it, thank you as well. PM member for 8 months. Happy birthday. Great panel this evening. Also, I think I saw that it's Jill Powers, the River Daughter's birthday. Isn't it also? Please tell me, chat, if it is. Yes. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Come on. One of y'all tell me. I saw it in the chat earlier. Somebody said it was someone else's birthday, and I wanted to wish you happy birthday.
It's Jill's birthday, sir.
It's whose?
It's Jill's birthday, sir.
That's what I thought. Happy birthday to Jill Powers. That is really cool. I wish you the best and brightest of days. Co-leader 2016 for $20. The Cosby Show was hated by BET magazine. Really? I didn't know that. I love the Cosby Show. Because having 2 successful black parents in a nuclear family, unrealistic aspiration. The victimhood does not want it.
Yeah, there was a point where not in the beginning. Everyone loved the Cosby Show in the beginning, but there was a point like in the 90s, and it was like around the time of like, the Boys in the Hood stuff and all that, and rap started getting a little bit more gangster and harder. All of a sudden, the Huxtables were not relatable, right? Because
you know why that was?
A black doctor and a black lawyer, and it was weird because there was a point in the show even when they decided to adopt or take in their niece from the hood, right? That because her family abandoned her or something.
Oh,
and so she brought like a street element to the Cosby Show, and it was goofy.
Well, he got a lot of pushback because he went out and he said that we have a bunch of illiterate black men out on the streets who need to pull their pants up. Yeah, remember that? And he got a shit ton of backlash for that.
Wow.
By the way, he was right about everything. He might
of course
he had been a horrible person, drugging women and all that shit, but he was right about that. So,
do you really believe Bill Cosby did that?
I mean,
he admitted he did it.
Came forward, man.
I didn't know that he admitted. I know. I didn't know that he admitted. Okay. I thought he had denied it. That's how he was able to get away with it.
If it was just one woman or 2, I'd be like, they could be just bitter or something.
He admitted it under a certain situation where it was inadmissible in court, though. Like that was that whole thing they were arguing about for a while there.
No, that changes things. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Because he had confessed it. Well, yeah, and it's really stupid. It's just one of those things where it really makes you wonder because it's like, the sad part about it is most of these women probably would have slept with him anyway. Right? Like that's the problem.
Yeah, but you don't drug people.
Yeah.
Fucking bad. Yeah, I just never remember him admitting that. TGV, thank you for that, Skull Leader. TGV Monster, $5. I hate that they will learn the wrong lessons from Elio where they think no more original movies, more sequel slop. No, make good original movies. Yeah, Elio is actually, funny enough, it was going to be one of the topics that we're going to talk about today because there are a lot of people in the studio who are complaining. They said it failed because they cut out all of the
gay stuff.
All the
rainbow pride stuff. Yeah, all the gay stuff. They're saying that's why it flopped.
Yeah,
Alex Caldwell. Wow, for 50 pounds. Hi, George. Happy birthday for Tuesday. Thank you, my dear friend. Love the banner you always have with Mexican Ironman. Yeah, he hates it when I try to help him break out of jail. But also the star of Jaws, apart from the shark, was Robert Shaw. Yep. Also, hi, Tom. Is your wee putty cat going to make an appearance tonight? Love, Alex and Garfield. Thank you so much. What a birthday gift. Thank you.
I think he's sleeping somewhere.
Yeah, by the way, I got a great clip there for the 50th anniversary. They're playing Jaws with a symphony. I'm waiting for it to come to Houston. Eva Williamson for $5. Happy birthday, Jill Powers. I was right. Happy birthday, Jill Powers. From Slayer Nation to you. Happy birthday, my friend. And we got Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for another $2. Happy birthday to Jill Powers, too. Hell yeah, that's the way it comes together. That's why I love my chat. John Maynard, remember for 3 months, it shall always be hashtag Creepaw in regards to Pedro. Yeah, Pedro that's what it is. Mr. Peepee. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for another $5. Good grief. Imagine if Pedro saw Cynthia Erivo's nails up close. Jesus, he would be talking about that for an hour. Let me tell you. The Cynical Crusader for £2. Pedro nearly on the Eddie Izzard level of gay. But yeah, Eddie Izzard, I used to love him as a comedian. Now he's a little bit different, but still funny. Still funny. Zeitgeist Ruminator for £5. Pedro Pascal gives me a vibe of someone who's talking the talk and walking the walk, doing what he thinks he needs to do to keep getting the work.
Yeah, you got to kiss the ring. You got to.
I mean, is he keeping the gay thing in his pocket though? For
okay,
that's the only thing I don't understand.
Let's ask Matthew. Matthew is here. We can ask him. He knows Hollywood inside and out. We've debated this. Is 2025. If Pedro Pepe is actually gay, why wouldn't he just say it? This isn't 1980.
I have no idea.
Like, is it a taboo in Hollywood for some reason for a leading man or someone who's like, is that still a thing?
I think sometimes it might be perceived as that because, you know, I mean, look, he keeps being touted as this really, really good looking guy or this sexy guy or this heartthrob. So I think there's still, I guess, at least if there's, you know, some ambivalence about it, then they think that he's going to get the female audience as well.
Okay.
I don't know.
He has a female audience because his fan base is mostly female. And they all know, they all say, I like look at his Instagram and TikTok and all that. A lot of them say that he's gay. Like one of their things that they put in there. So
Really?
They know that he's gay.
Unbelievable. It's like, see, to me, he's like the male Rachel Zegler. That's how I think.
They're really pushing her again.
They are. You know why?
Wait,
I have a video coming out.
Are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going up for Sound of Music.
Okay.
They're doing a remake of Sound of Music.
We're gonna race swap
Weird.
Nazis, nuns, and 1938 Austria about the Von Trapp family with Rachel Zegler, possibly.
To be clear, this is for a play, not a movie.
It is,
Yeah,
but
it's for a play, and that hasn't been confirmed. It's just an
You're
idea
right.
floating out there. Like nobody has actually contacted her team yet. At least that's
But also I get that she got praised for Evita. I get that, right?
After she screwed people out of.
She has a good voice. There was never a question about that, actually. But we're not talking movies, though, right? We're just talking stage, right?
The problem first, it starts with stage. You understand? She wants to come back. I think she's doing that Hollywood humiliation ritual. Did you see her interview where she was talking about her psychiatrist and her anxiety? She started doing how I just finished a video. This will be out this week. But not only did she screw people out of Vita, people were paying $500, the equivalent of $500 a ticket in the West End at the Palladium Theater, all while she goes outside and sings on the balcony for free. It'd be like you taking out a date on a romantic dinner, dropping $50,000, and the chef runs halfway through and hands your gourmet meal to people outside for free. Like,
it's almost worse than that. It's almost like you're paying a concert to go see Metallica, and your favorite song is Nothing Else Matters. And during that song, they decide to go out on the roof and sing the song out there free for everybody out in the public while you watch it on a big screen in the amphitheater going,
that's crazy.
What is going on here?
Yeah.
I paid to see you guys play live, not see you guys play on screen while you play free to other people. That's basically what she's doing. She's taking the one single moment that everybody remembers from Evita or not her personally, but the director and the
Don't
people
cry
behind
for me.
this.
Yeah.
And they put her out on the front balcony. So all you really have to do is just sit outside, knowing that the show starts about 7 o'clock, wait till about 7:30, 8 o'clock or whatever, when that part comes up. Just sit outside with your phone, videotape her, and then go about your day. And you didn't spend a dime, right? While the other people inside who spend $200, $300, $400, $500 a ticket are getting screwed. And then they're wondering why the show's failing.
Yeah, it was
What's
part of
funny
her
about
choice.
that is that they and it's advertised on their Instagram official Avita Instagram post is that the tickets went on sale for 25 euros and people still chose to sit outside and watch
Why
that
would
tiny little
you?
part. They didn't want to spend the $25 to see Rachel Zegler play Avita. So
Yeah,
the $25 tickets are, that's not bad. You can afford that.
I mean, they
some
didn't
people
pay
can afford that.
$20 to see Snow White either. So I mean,
No,
But they
no,
would still rather
When
just
she gets back to Hollywood and she's successful there, then call me because I don't think she's coming back to Hollywood anytime
Not
soon.
anytime
I don't
soon.
either.
No.
I
In
don't
the
know.
next 3 or 4
I think
years,
she's
we're
going
not
to
going to hear.
I think she's going to repair her career doing these Broadway shows, these stage shows.
Right.
They're going to continue to push her. They're going to have other stars because there's a ton of stars. Pedro Pascal was there.
Yep.
Pedro
It flew
Pascal was
out
there.
there for her.
Keanu Reeves was there. Rachel Brosnahan was there. They're all there. Jessica Alba was there. All there watching Avita, posting on their socials how amazing Rachel Zegler is. She's going to stay there until it's safe for her. And I don't think that her in that article saying how she has anxiety or whatever, I don't think that was humiliation. I think that is painting her once again as a victim. Look at all of this horrible things that happened to me. I had to go to therapy and and now I'm better because of all of this backlash that I was receiving for years because of Snow White, and I had to go to therapy. Poor me, woe is me, but my therapist helped me get through it, and now I'm better than ever. I am back and I am ready, and I think that's what had to do
For a
with
while, that's what she was going to do.
that is just making her even better and getting her ready to reappear in movies later on down the line, because I think that they're currently shopping a movie with her and Marissa Tomei.
They can't get a distributor.
But she does have the Gloria. She also has the Gloria Estefan role that she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to happen though? That's
they said it was signed last year. The thing is I believe they're trying.
Signed doesn't mean anything,
right? Well, I think they're trying to push her back. That's the feeling I get. I don't know. I get the feeling that they're trying to slip Zegler back in. It's the same way they said that Snow White was the #1 streaming hit in the world on Disney Plus. Really? Show us the receipt.
It's the only thing they had going on at that time. It's like,
you really believe that? Truly?
I do, because anything new that is put on Disney Plus will be the #1 thing on Disney Plus, because they don't create a lot of original content. It's all just anything new that's put there. People who have Disney Plus are going to watch it. That's why they can say that Ironheart was the most streamed thing on Disney Plus, because it's the only new thing on Disney Plus. So people who have it are going to watch. They're going to be curious. So yeah, it's going to be.
I'd like to know the metrics.
Steph is right. It's not like Netflix where they drop 5 things at once, right? Every week.
They
got one thing they usually drop every month, and that's about it. Yeah.
I get that, but y'all know Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle released a product line, and she said it was sold out in under an hour. Yet you find them on eBay, right? And you find an employee who left who said that she only had 20 products lined up. So it's easy to go, it's sold out and demand is high if you only have 20 products. If you have Disney releasing Snow White on there, is it #1 for an hour, #1 for a day? What are the metrics? I'd like to see that, because say Ironheart didn't chart
George, you're asking
anywhere.
too many questions.
Yeah, I know, but see, the problem is it's like Ironheart didn't chart anywhere, nowhere. You're gonna tell me
That's racist, George. Stop saying that.
Oh well, so we'll move forward. Damn.
No, you're right. You're right. It's stupid. I
don't believe it. I just
the streaming wars come to an end. I've been saying it. Everybody else has been saying it for a while too. That within the next 5 years, we'll be lucky to have 2 or 3 streamers left, because they're all going to end up getting conglomerated back into Amazon and Netflix and stuff like that. Anyway, they can't afford. Like F1's a good example. How else are they going to continue to be able to do this stuff? They have to basically produce a movie, and then the streamer pay for about half of it, so they can actually afford it, because they don't have the DVD and video sales anymore to make up for other stuff, right? And that's what they got to do. Like F1 was funded halfway through Apple, halfway through Warner, and I'm sure they'll put out a video. I'm trying to find out for sure if Warner's got distribution on the video or not. But at this point, that's what these guys got to do. They got to make deals with Netflix or Amazon or Apple to pay for a portion of or half the movie, distribute it in theaters. Don't put it out in streaming right away. Wait a little bit, because this is another thing about Jurassic is, yeah, the movie's doing well this weekend, but in 36 days, it's going to be on Peacock.
Right.
By the way, George,
Yes,
George,
sir.
you know the move with Rachel going to the West End is to build a credibility again, and I think that what they will do is they will pivot from her being a star, right?
Okay.
Like trying to give her the leads in these movies, and what they'll do is they'll either get her in an indie movie that she's a lead in where she plays something, you know, really down and dirt, like very character driven, or she'll be like a supporting actress to again in another movie like that, and they'll be like, oh, look at her, they'll give her an Oscar run. You heard it here first, right? Like they'll try and push her for the Oscars, and then Vanity Fair will come out with the redemption of Rachel Zegler, like this is how great she is, and everyone will start saying she's the greatest thing ever. Because you know, for the most part, you know, when you for British actors, that's an evolution, right? To go from being in the West End then into movies, so it's actually kind of like a step back. You know, for a British actor to go back to theater, you're like, I want to get out of that shit. But for an American actor to go to Broadway or to the West End, it's kind of like, look, I'm a really serious actor. Like, forget all the other shit that you heard about me. Like, I've got the chops, you know. And
Like she's honing her craft.
yeah, and she's like saying, look at me, I'm a real actor. Like, I'm not this like fluffy star that they've tried to push her in. But I mean, look, she's been in a movie that Steven Spielberg directed. So, you know, you are a star, but what it does is she's still got the ability to greenlight a movie. It might be a small movie, but she's still got the ability to do that, unfortunately.
Even with 5 flops in a row?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
With almost burned $1 billion, she hasn't had one hit.
It doesn't matter. You know, you know her name. She sold out Vita, right? Supposedly, but she's got a name, and that's all they care about. And no, she might not be able to get the lead in a $200 million, you know, CGI fest, but she'll certainly be able to continually greenlight $3-4 million indie movies that will give until she gets the shot. Like I told you about the other actor. They've gambled too much on her, and these people have massive egos. They will turn around and do the same thing again. They'll say it's the fans. They'll say it's the toxic fans. They'll blame all that on us, right? And then she'll come back triumphant again. She won't be the megastar, but they'll build her up like that with credible roles. That's
didn't it used to be, Matthew, like years ago, at least when I was growing up, it felt that way. That if an actor, or especially not a director, but if an actor had X amount of flops, like they disappeared for, like they usually got pulled.
It depends on the position, but like, yeah, like Rachel is somebody that we're at a point now where this is totally different Hollywood than we've ever seen before, because they refuse to let these fuckers die.
Yep.
And I like, you know, we've had our Jai Courtneys and these other people in the past where they've tried to shove them down our throat and they just didn't work out. Unfortunately, with this situation, like we've had recently with Jonathan Majors, they're trying to do the same thing right now with Pedro Pascal. She's another one of these, like Zendaya, that they keep shoving at us, and they're like, you're going to like her whether you like it or not. This is the first time I've ever seen this in Hollywood, where they're trying to tell us how to consume our entertainment and tell us what we're supposed to want, right? Like we used to create the stars, right? Like that's what, you know, it's you get in a little movie, you work your way up to the ranks, and eventually you will possibly get to be the star. If not, you're going to be a character actor. That's just the way it works. You got those two basic careers ahead of you, one way or the other. And if you're somebody like Rachel, like that's I've never seen this before, where somebody keeps getting chance after chance, and the only reason I can believe it is because they're doing it on purpose. They're forcing her down our throats because they want it to make it happen. Whatever it is she has on them, whatever it is that she's got going for her, I don't know.
She's got Spielberg behind her. She said that in multiple interviews that he got her the role, and
he's not what he used to be either, though. See, like, I mean, yeah, he's Steven Spielberg, but we're at a point where Kathleen Kennedy might be actually more powerful than Steven Spielberg.
Wow. It's just odd when you look at it. It's just very peculiar with these people.
I think, but still, with that type of a director, you know, with his history and stuff, for him to, you know, pretty much choose her to be the lead in West Side Story, and then recommend her to the director of Snow White, and you know, he was pretty much the reason that she got, because Steven Spielberg
the
told
same
her
thing
that
for
she got
Shia
the role
LaBeouf,
before
too.
they even told her that she got the role.
Yep.
You know, so he was the reason that she was Snow White. Pretty
He
much.
did the same thing for Shia LaBeouf, though, too, right? Like, I mean, that came and bite him in the ass in the end. But I mean, until she fucks him over somehow, yeah, he'll
still
get behind
find
her probably.
Tom, I find it odd. You know what triggered me, and I'll use that word, triggered me, was when she won when they made that big deal when she won the People's Choice Awards. Matthew, she beat out for Action Star of the Year Keanu Reeves in John Wick 4 and Denzel Washington in Equalizer 3. They gave it to her for her role in Hunger Games. I'm like, seriously?
It's because 12-year-old girls know how to vote.
I know. Do you think anybody voted for that? I mean, really? I mean,
a buttload of 12-year-old girls probably. Yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't even do much action in that Hunger
I
Games.
know. That's why it's like, how do you beat Keanu Reeves? And then why does Keanu Reeves all of a sudden know who the hell she is and is showing up in the West End and all the other actors? I'm like, and the last week, everybody is flying in there.
You know what though? There's an opportunity right now,
Mhm.
and it's very frustrating. I moan about it all the time. Is that there's an opportunity right now to absolutely do something alternative with, you know, just great talent, people that just want to tell great stories, and you know, just give something, shockingly give the audience what they want.
That'd be
Right,
great.
and because I think you're right. I do think they are, and like I said, I saw it. This was 20 years ago, by the way, that I saw that with the agent. I was like, hang on a minute, you're determined not to let this guy fail, and he eventually, oddly enough, got an Oscar nomination, Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination eventually, because it's all these people go to the same parties, they all talk to each other, they're all at the same coffee shops. And that's, you know, they're in this like kind of real weird bubble, like this ecosystem, and they're all afraid of the first person to step out of that, to say, actually, you know what, I don't like Pedro Pascal. You know, like, and that's why Steven Spielberg, if he comes out and says Rachel Zegler's a star, I can tell you this, every single agent in Hollywood is like, she is a star. Steven Spielberg said it, like, she's going to be, and guess what then? Those directors and those producers, number one, they want to get in the good graces of someone like Spielberg because he's so powerful, right? I mean, not only is he a genius filmmaker, but, you know, he has so much power with DreamWorks. But they want to be the one to like be in these good graces, right? To, you know, because a lot of the young filmmakers now, they still look up to Steven Spielberg. I mean, I still do. I still think he's a genius. He hasn't made anything particularly good in recent years, but you know, they're still looked up to, even though they don't have the power. As someone said, I can't remember who said it, they don't have the power they used to, but it's still the anointing, right? And they're so afraid. The amount of times that when I was in casting, like someone would come onto the scene. I'll give you a good example of this, which this is genius. Do you remember when Sam Worthington was cast in Avatar?
Yeah.
Right. Everybody, they were still making Avatar, right? Everybody wanted him. Everybody wanted him. They were like, you know, boom, boom. And that's how we got Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans. And nobody even knew, they'd not seen him in anything. I think, you have to correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Clash of the Titans came out before Avatar. So they were like, let's get this out. Right.
Might have. I think you're right. Because I think they rushed the 3D process or whatever it was, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
they did.
so when he signed, I'm sorry, just because it goes to your question. So when an actor signs like a deal like Avatar, right? Do they at the same time then sign 3 or 4 movies at, like, they use that situation of that big property to sign other deals?
Jimmy, what? So
like what I was thinking, because I read that Rachel Zegler, when Spielberg put her into West Side Story, that is when she signed up for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, for Snow White.
Yes.
A few months, like all her films were done like based off of.
Yeah, the whole point is that you get the next job before your movie's out, right? Like, so just being anointed that Spielberg said she's going to be in Snow White. I mean, in
West
Side Story. She would have got a slew of offers after that, and the agent would have gone bum 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 bum, and she would have been booked up for the next like 2 or 3 years. If she's got a good agent, that's what they would have done.
Yeah. And they would have spun that out, that momentum. And it's, that old adage of like, especially like when you're up for an Oscar, get your next job before the Oscars, because in case you lose, then you can ask for the most you can up front. But like speaking of Oscars,
on the red carpet. Yeah, she said it on the red carpet that she booked it before West Side Story had come out yet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even be surprised. Yeah, but like the thing about, you guys mentioned her and Oscars earlier. We're not out of the woods yet. She could still get, a song or something like that could still get nominated for Snow White. I don't see her getting nominated, but that's another thing they could add to this, just to kind of see as like a screw you to people like us.
Well, the song gets nominated, she gets nominated. So
basically, that's my point. Yeah, she'll be up there performing on the Oscars and all that business. And look at the way people are talking this year. There's not a lot of buzz for a lot of stuff. I guarantee you, Sinners and the Wicked sequel are going to just take the Oscars.
F1, I think, is still.
F1 might get some nominations, but they're never going to give it. That's the thing. They never give movies like that the Oscar. They nominate them just to.
Let me say this. Honestly,
Sinners is going to win, probably.
I don't give a shit about the Oscars anymore. I don't care about award shows and I don't think audiences care either. And if they're hoping that they can rehabilitate Rachel Zegler on Broadway and then give her little awards here and there, and then suddenly the audience is just going to rock with her and love her, I think they're crazy. There's no way in hell that people are going to start loving Rachel Zegler just because she got a cup. Like, nobody's going to forget what happened during Snow White unless this chick makes a complete 180. And I don't think she's going to. I think she's exactly who she has shown us that she is, and she's not changing for nothing. And audiences are just not rocking with that type of behavior, anywhere in Hollywood. People are sick and tired of that. They want honest, authentic actors to, be believable people. They don't want this phony, fake, manufactured star shit anymore, and that's what it feels like. All of this stuff you're talking about, it sounds like that's what they're doing, but it also sounds heavily manufactured, and audiences are seeing right through that shit because we got social media now, so we can see right through who you are.
If I were her publicist, what I would do is I would tell her, disappear for a while, do Broadway, do the stages, do all that stuff, stay away from movies. Even if they offer you something, don't take it. Disappear. Every time you do any kind of public engagement, be pleasant, be nice, always only talk about the material that you're playing. That's it. Do that for 5 years, right? And then she can sneak her way back in as a supporting actress, right? Yeah. But she has to disappear from the public, zeitgeist.
That's stay off of social media.
Well, she screwed that up last. She screwed that up.
But here's the other part of that. The part two of that plan is talk about the mistakes you made as a young woman, right? Talk about, I said some things I shouldn't have said. I was young. I was dumb. Do all that. That's all she has to do is follow that plan. If she had a good publicist, that's what they would tell her to do. But we're talking about Hollywood, so.
Yeah, she screwed that first part up last week because right outside the theater, before we move on to this, they had a bunch of people who were asking for her autograph, and they're doing the whole Save Palestine. She gave a little speech, and it got released. So she's not, plus that interview. Anyway, it's crazy.
She's her own worst enemy.
She is her own worst enemy. Well, let's have
she is who she is. That's who she is.
She's not going to change.
No, she's not.
So let's have a quick palate cleanser. Jaws, its 50th anniversary before we move on to the last topic. I can't wait till this comes to Houston. But they're having at the Hollywood Bowl.
They actually did this in Martha Vineyard for the 50th anniversary.
They did?
I like that.
Yeah, a couple weeks back, yeah.
I cannot wait. I've been wanting to see something like that for years. Because I saw Lord of the Rings when they brought the orchestra. They had the big screen orchestra. It was brilliant. Brilliant. All righty. Now we're going to jump into the last one, which is, I got to share this interview. So there's more info. Daily Beast, if everybody didn't know, Daily Beast released against the embargo, or they say it was accidentally, they released the review of James Gunn's Superman. And then about 5 minutes later, it got hammered and taken offline. But a few people already caught it. Let's, where did it go? Here it
That
is.
was really stupid of them, by the way. Because I know for a fact Warner Brothers right now is being so like litigious when it comes to Superman. Like it's.
I think this dude, this Nick Shagger dude. Look, first and foremost, like we did a video on this yesterday, and the Snyder Bros are freaking out. But yeah, because we busted this guy. He's a Snyder Bro. He's a pro Disney shill. And this was not an accident. This was dropped on purpose because this motherfucker is more than willing to probably sacrifice his Warner Brothers access. He does not probably care at this point because this guy just got made famous,
man. Like they're, like I said, they're litigious right now. So,
and what are they going to sue him for? That he just broke an embargo. It's not like they're going to get anything out. It just be all they can do is just take away their access. That's it.
It's not illegal, right?
No, like what are they going to do?
I don't know if it's like they can sue him. I have no idea about what
they can't really sue him for what damages.
Signed.
Yeah, I mean, all they can do is just basically Nick is no longer going to be invited to any fucking premieres from now on. That's all it is.
Okay, so I wanted to go over quickly just his title alone seems like it would have pissed off Warner Brothers. World of Real had it up, and the title was Superman Review, Terrible Reboot is Final Nail in Superhero Cinema's Coffin. I wasn't going to read it. I have the article from there because the review, it has spoilers in it. Whoever wants them, I'll leave the link in the chat. You can check it out. But I've been looking, there are several pieces, several interviews that have been going on from the actors, from the different cast members. And I want to play a couple because it's painting a different picture about Superman. Because I've been hyped about it, even though it had a couple of issues for me. But here's one of them. I thought it was pretty interesting. Tell me what y'all think of it. It's a couple of the actresses. What do you think they should have kept the same?
At the screening last night, and you know, a lot of us we're jaded journalists. We watch movies every single day, and you know, we see things that are terrible on the screen, and we sit there in silence. There's a scene where you're not the kindest to Crypto, and out loud, I heard someone go, "Oh hell no!"
Oh, that's awesome.
The way
they actually cut a worse scene from. That's right. That's right. Me and Nick were a little bit pissed about it, but it's okay.
Did this go full John Wick?
Oh no!
What did now you have to tell? What did they cut?
Because I guess you can say it. Well, they cut Ultraman punching Crypto because apparently they did really bad in the screen, like the test screening.
It's not okay. You can't punch a dog.
No, I did not punch the dog. The dog attacked me first. And I had to make sure that I was alive. And by the way, I did not kill him or anything. I just made sure that he was wrapped in.
Okay, what do you think? I mean, there's more. There's something that Corin Swint said, which is I'm going to show in a minute. But you think that was a cool decision to cut that? I don't know. When you start,
they should have kept it in. These are villains.
Okay,
Villains do villainous things,
you.
which are, you know, a villainous thing would be to punch a dog, but not. This isn't just any dog. This is Crypto. He's a super dog. You know what I mean? It's not like they just punched a random dog on the street. Right. It's Crypto. He's a super dog, and these are villains. They're supposed to do villainous things. So I don't know. Just because someone had a knee-jerk reaction to, it's supposed to make you feel a certain way. You're supposed to have like a reaction to someone doing a bad thing, because this is a villain and they are doing a bad thing. So you're supposed to have that reaction. For them to take it out because someone had a bad reaction to a villain doing a bad thing, it's just dumb to me. They should have just kept it in.
I agree. Completely. What were you going to say?
Well, I mean, these test screenings, that's why they do these things, so they can see what they want to keep, what they don't want to keep. And I mean, I agree with most of what Steph is saying, but on the other side of this too, I know people personally who won't go to a movie if they know that an animal gets hurt in it. They just won't go. Okay. They're that sensitive to that shit that they just, as soon as they even have a website they'll go to find out for sure if there's any of that kind of activity in the film. And if there is, they won't go.
Yeah, I mean, and James Gunn should know better because after Guardians 3, he got a lot of shit for animal abuse and all this other shit. So I mean,
that was all CGI animals mostly.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, he got
so's this dog. But I mean, still, no. But Steph is right. I mean, villains should be allowed to do villainous things. Chances are, it probably tested poorly in every screening.
Well, that's what they're saying. In the article, it says it tested poorly. I'm wondering if that wasn't people being oversensitive, because like what Steph was saying, it seemed like it would get an emotional reaction, like start feeling more for it. I'm trying to talk about this without talking about the review that the guy wrote, because I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if he's biased or not. I don't know if he has.
He's clearly biased. I'm sure he's seen the movie though, but
he says he did, but I don't know if he's being objective. Because if you take what he says about the film,
I mean, if he's a Snyder bro, he's not being objective.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, this guy, Tom did good work on it. Clear Snyder bro. Loves Zack Snyder, loves him to death, and probably pissed to all hell that we're not getting the Zack Snyder universe continuing on as we speak. So yeah, all of these Snyder bros, man, they've been coming for us. Anybody that tries to stay somewhat objective and say, hey, let's just wait and see what this movie is, and let's just give it give it a chance. Snyder Bros ain't having it, which again, that's where we're at right now when it comes to the superhero universes that's out there. It's like the Snyder Bros are done. They checked out, and they're going to hate on every single thing that happens from James Gunn's universe, regardless of quality.
Zack Snyder is the weirdest director to rally behind. I don't understand the Snyder bro, man. Like, if you're going to if you're going to put your foot down on a director, Zack Snyder's your guy? Really?
300 and Watchmen is great.
Sure, those two movies.
Well, let's be clear. We're not talking about
his Dawn of the Dead as well.
Right.
I like that.
That's really good.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, let's be clear. We're not talking about people who actually like his films. We're talking about the obnoxious fucks.
Yeah.
Where if you just simply say, yeah, Man of Steel wasn't that good, they will fly off the fucking handle, make 7 accounts just to trash you on X for days. I deal with these people on a daily basis. They are the easiest motherfuckers in the world to trigger, and they are the worst people to have to deal with once you do trigger them. But it's hilarious because they've got nothing. It's like you're fucking. You really think that Warner Brothers is gonna go, we're sorry guys, we were wrong this whole time. Even if let's say that Superman doesn't even manage to make $500 million at the box office, do you really think they're gonna drag Zack Snyder in and re-sign everybody? No, it's never gonna fucking happen. It was a miracle that the Zack Snyder Justice League movie fucking happened. Why? Because they needed something for HBO Max, and everybody who was involved in that shit in the first place was out of the studio now. So it wasn't a black eye on anybody in the studio for them to do that. But what happened was they spent another $90 million on a movie that already lost money, and it didn't do anything for them. So at the end of the day, they are never bringing it back. They're not going to license this out to Netflix so you can finish this unholy trilogy that you think that he has in his mind. I mean, this is the same fucking guy who come out and said that if my Rebel Moon movie was in theaters, it'd be $1 billion hit. Right? Like, let's get real, kids. This guy can barely make movies at Netflix anymore because people are sick and tired of watching 3-hour movies about slow-mo farming. Yeah. Right? Like, that's all it is.
You're absolutely right. Matthew, are you looking forward to Superman?
No, I think it looks dreadful. I mean, I just think it looks terrible. I have a little anecdotal story about it, though.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny. Is that I was in Georgia and I was staying there's a hotel that's right next to Trilith Studios there. And it's a really, really nice hotel. And I was staying there. And so normally when you do a film, right, like you want to be on the down low, especially if you're doing a big movie. Like they normally put up like a different name for the location. They'll say, like when we did Transformers, it was called Prime Directive because you don't want people turning up there. I shit you not. I walked downstairs to the bar and I'm sitting there and I saw one person walk in. It's so funny. I saw one person walk in. They're wearing a Superman t-shirt. I'm like, huh. Okay. And then another person walked in with a Superman t-shirt. And I realized it was the heads of department coming in for a meeting. They were all wearing Superman t-shirts.
Kind of giving it away, yeah.
But it's a really weird thing to see on a movie, right? Like it's not like, hey, listen, I'm here. I'm serious. If someone said to me, even if I was working on a movie like that, I'm like, I'm not wearing a fucking t-shirt. Like, are you kidding me? And but they were all there. And then I walked across the street, and there's a little Italian restaurant directly opposite from the hotel. And James Gunn was right there. He was right there in the middle of the day, having something to eat. Walked off. It was such a bubble. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like from my experience, being, you know, people are very, very serious. You know, they're taking their shit serious. And if you told, certainly, you know, the grip that he got to wear a Superman t-shirt, you probably get smacked in the mouth. But it was just odd. And something felt off to me. You know what I mean? And I say this with all. I watched the interview with
Corn Sweat.
Yeah, and Nick Holt, and I thought, look, for them, I was like, I hope it's a success, because I think what Nicholas Holt said, it felt to me like very genuine. Listen, I went up for that role, and
yeah, that he was going for,
yeah, no, and I really like that. So for those guys, I'm like, I want it to be a success for them. And Frank Grillo is a good friend of mine, you know, so I want it to be a success for them. But I have no desire to see it, like none. And I thought the trailer was horrible. No, I mean, no intent on seeing that or the Fantastic Four at all. And I'm a comic book fan, you know, so it's I don't know. Does everyone else feel the same? I mean, anyone excited by the trailer?
Well, I know two people who have seen it already, and it's weird because one of them loved it, and the other one said it was
really
terrible. So I mean, I think this movie's going to probably divide people in some weird ways, because there's no consistent. It's just a good movie. It's like some people really liked it, some people just from the test screening, some people hated it. So I mean, this movie's hard to measure. It's hard to figure
especially
out.
when that article came out today, that was in Deadline, where Gunn was saying that this is an immigrant story. I'm like, is it a super story? Is it an immigrant story? Yeah, it came out. We're gonna real quick, but DA has to get going and Steph has to get going. We're gonna wrap up here in 10 minutes, but if y'all want to outro out now,
Superman is an immigrant. I mean,
I know, but the way he was framing it, it was like saying this is what the real story is of the movie, and then in another article, he's like, "Well, actually, no, it's about this." So
it was like he was framing it like he was talking about like the story of America, like America is a country built upon immigrants. Yeah, like it's that angle.
And he was doing the whole politics, especially now. We need the story more than ever. And,
I'm so tired of James Gunn talking at this point. I just want the movie.
Do y'all need to
after saying all that about how Superman's an immigrant, he finishes with this. Yes, it plays differently. The reason they're talking about it being an immigrant is because the reporter, and George, I'm putting the article where all of this stuff came from in the private chat, in case you want to bring it up. It was an interview that was done by the Sunday Times, but they asked him, how do you think this movie will play in red states versus blue states? Will it play differently? That was their question. Because of everything that's going on with immigration. But the final thing he says was, yes, it plays differently, but it's about human kindness. And obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as an offense just because it's about kindness. But screw them.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying it's very...
James Gunn just needs to shut up. He needs to
I was reading this article and I'm just like, oh my goodness, just stop it. Yeah. Stop feeding into it, because later on in the article they start, talking about Donald Trump and his history with Donald Trump and about the Middle Eastern war, and there's war in this, and is that a nod to that? And yeah, this whole article is just crazy, and I'm just like, James Gunn needs to be quiet. Like, just stop talking. Why is he answering these questions?
He shouldn't
that are clearly going to divide a lot of people.
He shouldn't be. That's why a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about it, I said this is Superman versus Gunn. And that's at least in marketing. That's one of the biggest problems. But before y'all go, take a listen to this video. This is what I want to share. I want to hear what you think about it. It's 2 minutes or 1 minute and 30 seconds. And everybody, see if you pick it up. Some people haven't picked it up. I was showing it some earlier.
It's Kal-El or Clark. But rather than thinking about one, either Superman or Clark Kent is the real one and the other is the alter ego, which you can go back and forth on, that there's a third, truer version of him, which is the version of him when he's with somebody who knows that he's both. So, and in our version, that's Ma and Pa Kent, who know that he's Superman and know that he's Clark and grew up with, he grew up with them. And Lois Lane, who knows that he's both of these characters, and she interacts with him as a journalist as Superman, and she interacts with him as a colleague as Clark Kent. And so she sees these characters, and she's one of the only people who gets to see him when he's not playing either character and he's a little bit of both. And so that scene, I think, is the crux of that character that we see. And the reality is that when he doesn't have to be Superman, when he doesn't have to be this calm, reassuring presence to the public, when he doesn't have to symbolize safety and security and truth and justice and all those good things, he still feels.
Sounds like Script Doctor explained to him what Superman's supposed to be, because I've heard basically Script Doctor use that same description, that there's 3 sides to Superman.
Right, but this is the second time I've caught him, and this is, I'm wondering if this is from Gunn. He won't say truth, justice in the American way. He says truth, justice in those good things.
Because it's no longer the American way in James Gunn.
As far as I know, they don't even say it, period.
Yeah, well, the new tagline is truth, justice, and the human way. That's why he's not saying the American way. That's right. Superman's new tagline is the human way. Yeah.
How are they going to sell that? That's Superman's, like.
He doesn't even say it in the movie. That's what I was told.
No, he doesn't say it in the movie.
They don't say it ever.
On oh man,
it's just toys. It's on toys and shit.
It's on toys and stuff. It's truth, justice, and the human way. But that's the new tagline for Superman.
It's just he goes on to say something which I haven't seen a Superman do that before, which he basically starts equating it to, like, you know, if you're a firefighter, you keep all that angst, all that frustration, you know, you bottle it up, you don't do it at the job, but you can show it at home. So he was explaining it like Lois. And that started to remind me of Snyder's, not actually from the comics. Like, I want to see the Christopher Reeves Superman, not somebody who's
Well, the funny thing is, most of these guys, by the way, the firefighters, when they come home, they don't show it at home at all. I mean, if you know anything about PTSD, that is absolutely not what they do. Yeah, that's the funny thing. So that it's got me a little bit confused about his take on the character, which is, you know, I did see him in the trailer like scream at Lex Luthor, right? Like, which again, I'm sure you guys have taken that apart multiple times. What that would really mean, which doesn't make any sense at all. But you know, I'd imagine that if you're looking at it, you know, as a little disclaimer, I was one of the 5 guys that tested for the Brett Ratner Superman. Just so you guys know.
Okay.
Which, little known tidbit. And by the way, do you know what they got me to do when we did it? Everyone had to do the rooftop scene from the original, looking through the lead. And I was like, how can you do that? How can you do that? It was done perfectly the first time. Like, you can't. I thought that was really unfair. But anyway, but isn't the whole point, when he's Superman, he's himself, right? Because he doesn't abandon his humanity, like the things that he's learned as a human, as Superman. But he has to pretend that he's just not super when he's Clark Kent. So I don't know.
I'll play it for you in a second, but Steph and Derek have to get going. All right, Derek, please tell everybody where they can find you, what you got coming up.
Yeah, Derek Anderson, the DA. Shout out to everybody helping me out with my channel, getting things moving. Just crossed 29,000 subs last week, so hopefully we get closer to 30K as we keep moving forward. DA's office tonight. I'll be on Film Threat Versus tomorrow, discussing much of the same stuff we're talking about right now. Along with the nightcaps, I probably won't have one on Thursday because I will be out of town. I'm going to Anime Matsuri. I'll be in Texas, George.
Hey, we got to meet up
on Thursday. Yep, Thursday I'm flying in to Houston, Texas. Going to be hanging out at Anime Matsuri with my kids. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, I'll be back on the DA's office Sunday next week. But yeah, tonight, Tuesday, but no nightcap on Thursday because I'll be out of town.
Well, we're going to have to meet up then. Thank you, Derek.
Right, cool.
That'd be awesome. Hell yeah. Steph, thank you for coming. Where can everybody find you? What you got coming up next?
I will say that I'm hoping that Superman is good just because I'm a huge fan of DC. I'm hoping everything that we are seeing, aside from like all of the cast interviews, because I do like David Cornsweet, I do like Nicholas Hoult. I think they have great chemistry together. I'm hoping that the movie is good, but I don't know. Those hopes are slowly dwindling day by day. But anyways, I have a gaming stream in about 15 minutes with Disparu, so I will be there. And then after that, I have Talk Nerdy. So we will be going over a lot of the same information that we're going on over here.
Thank you, Steph.
No problem. Thank you. And happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye,
Always
everyone.
love having you here.
See you, Steph.
See you, Steph. Okay, so here it is, what you were talking about, and then we're going to wrap up in the next 10 minutes. Here's what he was saying, just to finish off, because Matthew, what I was telling you about how he explained the character.
Feels those values. But just like when a firefighter comes home, you know, or a paramedic comes home, they might get frustrated or they might panic about something, where in the course of doing their job, they would never let themselves panic or yell or raise their voice or, you know, convey that kind of instability or uncertainty. With Lois alone, even though they are technically recording, that's part of the scene, is that he keeps kind of forgetting that he's on the record at this point. It becomes just between him and Lois. You're able to see not his anger at Lois, but his frustration with the perspective that she's representing.
See, this is what I don't like, and it goes on, and he's saying he's allowed to vent. I've never seen a Superman who is angry and frustrated, except, again, a little bit in the Snyder stuff.
I don't know. I saw Christopher Reeve pretty angry and frustrated in Superman the movie when I watched it the other night.
That's at the end when Lois dies.
No, I'm talking about when he's yelling at fucking Lex.
I didn't see him as angry there, as more as being forceful, but
he's more Christopher Reeve reserved, but he's still pretty fucking angry, calling him a lot of names and saying, "Where's the goddamn, detonator and all this shit?" Yeah, he's not fucking around. He comes in, busts his door down, and everything. Like, I'm sorry, like I get it. Some people want this stoic fucking emo Superman guy. I get it. You guys want that, but guess what? For 60, 70 years of Superman's existence, it's been what we see in this James Gunn trailer. I'm sorry to say this, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you don't like that, sorry. This is going to be probably the most comic accurate Superman we've ever had on screen, I bet. He's bringing all the Silver Age shit into it. The robots, the dog, the aliens, everything. It's all coming in. And if not, if this movie, if all I know is that there's a lot of people out there, you better hope this movie sucks, because otherwise.
Hey, I've said from the beginning, I want this to succeed. You and I talked about the dog scene. I got a dog. I like that. I didn't like the Lois scene. I don't want a fucking frustrated Superman. I don't. I want a classic comic book Superman. He rarely flipped his lid. He just did it in a different manner.
They did a whole series on a guy killing an entire syndicate over a fucking dog.
I know that.
So this is the one thing that I don't understand why people are like, look, if somebody stole my dog,
I'd
be flipping tables.
That's why I said you and I agreed on that. But I don't like the way he's explaining it here. I don't want to see Superman frustrated at home. I don't. Do you want to see Superman frustrated at home, Matthew? Verbal?
No, I mean, I think something. Sorry, Verbal. I mean, I think that part of this as well is I understand that the character might warrant like that in certain situations, but it also has to be taken into context within the whole, right? The tone of the whole piece. So if we screenwriters on here, you understand, you save those moments for the high stakes moment. It's not something that you want to overuse, certainly with someone like Superman, right? You want him, because it's part of understanding the great power that you have, right? It's understanding that this is, the most powerful being in the world. And so, someone who is, relatively unstable. I mean, I totally disagree with Corn and Sweat's analogy of coming home. I mean, I've worked with veterans for the past 20 years. And if anything, they bury it even further, and they actually shut down when they're at home. They don't. Yeah. I mean, there are instances now and then when they'll go off and drink and whatever, but it's normally the other way, because I don't think that you have this character that you just put at the door when you come home. So, I mean, I think that I'm more of a fan of, the higher the stakes, then there's frustration. Like if there's going to be a detonation, you can understand there's frustration, but not necessarily when you're talking to your girlfriend, because she doesn't get it. You know what I mean? Like every dude would be in a lot of trouble if, especially if you're married, if that happened. So, I mean, I can understand the argument for it, but I think it's, again, we've seen snippets, and a lot of the time, I didn't like it at all. But they did tend to cram, a lot of the times the studios look and go, this is a dramatic bit, so let's put it in the trailer.
Right.
And it might be different within the context of the whole film.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't
Good
know.
point.
But I tend to agree with you, George, on that.
All right. And then this popped up the other day. Critical Drinker had shared it. I think Tom's seen it. I think Verbal's seen it. This USA Network showed this before Rush Hour. The movie Rush Hour with Jackie Chan. Could you believe that?
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Right, but this is what they shared. We all love our 90s buddy comedies, but this movie was created in a different time. FYI, certain depictions, language, and humor may seem outdated and at times offensive.
Yeah, I watched it 2 weeks ago, and it was friggin' amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's like, but they put that up there.
I find it more offensive that they tried to be relatable in their vocabulary there. Like, we know, we all love our 90s action. Speak for yourself, motherfucker.
Plus the teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. It was in Jurassic World Rebirth. It hit online. It got removed, but I found it. I'm not going to be able to play it here because they would demonetize the channel.
Yeah,
so I promised everybody on Wednesday that I would share it. And I put it in the chat so you can watch it at home at your leisure. It shows the whole thing. It's a minute. So there you all have it. It's Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. It's probably the last place that it's left. You have to watch like a 30-second ad about something. Other than that, this is for Tom, and we're out of here. I found a Bollywood Batman, which I never knew existed.
I've seen this before. You're going to get in trouble, but play it anyway.
Well, I'm going to just play a few seconds.
I used to play it all the time, and I get claimed all the time.
Never heard of that in my life. It's crazy. Besides the fact, James Gunn also gave an interview where he said that his Superman was inspired also by Bollywood. And it was interesting, but we'll play that this week.
There was I was just saying that the Spider-Woman meets Superman Bollywood movie. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, if there's a dance number in a Superman movie, then
we know.
We'll know for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The King's Court became a YouTube member. Thank you. Glad you joined. That is awesome. I will see you at the next member stream, King's Court. And then we also have Amanda Pizzolato for $5. K-pop Demons Hunters should be proof people want original stories. But I doubt they'll admit that. Also, happy birthday, George. Thank you very much. And you're right. People do want original stories. Mindhunters is coming back, by the way, for anybody who likes the Mindhunter series. Mr. Buttcrack Media, member for 17 months. Hail, George. And to all on the panel, to the chat. Hail, Mr. Buttcrack Media. I've missed you, my friend. Great to see you. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Buttcrack Media gifted 5 George the Giant Slayer membership. Thank you. Way to go. I hope you all go thank him. Thank you, Mr. Buttcrack Media. Great support of the channel. Steel Leg of History for $5. He should do what Tom Cruise does. Only talk about the movie Gun. Can't. He is a fool. I love Tom Cruise the way he did Mission Impossible. He's just awesome. Awesome. Thank you, my friend. Be blessed. 21 Palika, member for 17 months. Almost a year and a half next month, George. Hey. Hail to you. Yep. Time flies when you're having fun. And that, I think, is well, we have something. Hardy Harmonica gifted 5 Georgia Giant Slayers. Thank you. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Helps keeps the lights on and keeps us growing. I love it. When we're done here, going to send you over to Valiant Renegade. So when you get there, say, George the Giant Slayer sent us. Thank you, Hardy. That is awesome. Okay. Thank you, Tom, for coming. Matthew, Verbal. Let's go around the board. Matthew, you got anything coming up? I'm tongue-tied.
Doing my streaming, building my YouTube at Matthew D. Marsden. Although I might be grabbing someone else on this panel's talents to write Alligator Alcatraz.
That'd be cool. You should put a conservative studio together.
I'll write it. I'll put karate in it though, just to warn you.
You got to have it. You got to have it. We're all down.
Always gonna have karate.
Yeah,
just tons of it.
You always have to have karate, huh? Where did I put that alligator?
It's the only time I'll watch a romantic comedy is if it's got karate in it, George.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not bad. Verbal, what do you have coming up?
Yeah, just you guys can catch me again Thursday night, 6 p.m. PST, and I'll be talking about the same old. Just news of the week. I will be unless she cancels. I do have a special guest coming, but I'm gonna wait before I put it out there. So.
Oh, okay, cool. It's awesome. Next week, next Sunday, we're having special guest Brandon Straka will be joining us. And then we're going to be having, like I mentioned Wednesday, we're going to have Terry Gilliam will be joining us the last Sunday in August.
Wow.
So, because he's putting a movie together.
Fart in his general direction.
He has put a movie together that he can't get funding for. No one will fund it in Hollywood, where he wants to destroy the earth. And they think it's a crazy idea where God, he did an interview and he explained his last movie has Johnny Depp as the devil. And he has God wipes out the planet because he's sick of all the craziness that he wants to comment on today. And then the devil makes a new paradise. This whole theological debate. But nobody will fund it. So we will have that conversation. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all your support, all your blessings, all the birthday wishes. And remember, we're fighters with one unbreakable rule. Please go thank everybody who sent in a membership. All their support keeps us here. Thank Lord Thoth, Eric K. Fletcher's in the back, and Mexican Ironman joined us. Love the panel. Remember, have a blessed week. Always forward.